by Anthony Stolars. Dobson for the line, throws it down low to Slavkovsky. He's pressured by Brandon Carlo. Puck goes up the far side for Bobby McMahon, but the Habs able to hold it in. Matheson in on the wing, cuts through the middle, passes off, wrister to the net. Another pad save made by Stolars, and it's kicked out to center ice.
Dobson had a great angle, but opts to go for the back post, see if he can get that tap in. Just didn't make it through the paint.
Leafs out to center. Slavkovsky brought down his man, and Nick Suzuki picks up the puck as he slides it in the other way. Tanev for Toronto, bouncing to the line. Suzuki holds it in. Give it back to Tanev, though, and it's quickly played to center as Lane Hudson fires it in. Stolar stops it behind the Leaf net. And Toronto roll it back to center again. Bit of a sloppy play, but then Hudson just throws it down ice for an icing with 16:31 to go in the first.
Pretty decent bounce back here the last couple of minutes from the Canadiens, benefiting from a good 35-40 seconds of in-zone time. I mentioned that play by Noah Dobson as he looks to go to the back post. I think it would do Dobson's confidence the world of good to get on the board early, at least to join in on the scoring early. I don't think he probably had the camp that he wanted to have with the Montreal Canadiens, but still getting on the board early, that gives you a lot of breathing room.
Ozone face-off for Toronto, but the puck goes out to center for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Now here's Simon Benoit. Short pass through for Austin Matthews. Down the far side, lost the handle on it. Newhook the other way, and he's quickly caught up by Austin Matthews as Simon Benoit takes it back behind the Leaf net. Now Ekman-Larsson, breakout pass through center. And that's going to go for icing here. A bit of a sloppy start on either side. This early season, after all, GP.
Well, it sure isn't, but you see there the quality of Austin Matthews as he loses the puck at the Canadiens' blue line. Newhook gets on his horse. We all know that Newhook can really get up and down the ice, but Matthews reels him in, and he does something that I think that he's getting better and better at, and that's stick lifting. He's a strong guy out there, but really understands those angles. He quick stick lift, turns the puck over, gets the possession back into the Leafs' hands, move up ice.
Leafs fired out to center. Here goes William Nylander. Or check that. That's Nick Robertson down the left side. A little toe drag shot. That's caught by Montembeault. And he will freeze that. Another successful preseason for Nick Robertson, who continues to fill the nets and then has trouble finding a spot in this lineup come regular season.
Yeah, just must take advantage this season. He gets an opportunity on opening night. Career high 15 goals last year, and we're going to see him playing alongside, at least early in the season, Max Domi has moved down. He's playing in the 3-hole, and Domi's very much a pass-first guy, so could benefit from that. But Robertson just has such a good release. It'd be nice to see him, and I'm sure all of Leafs Nation would love to see him get off to a good start.
Kirby Dach is going to get thrown out of the face-off dot for Montreal. Blocker side face-off on Montembeault. It'll be Gallagher versus Domi. And Gallagher's able to win it. Right back to Alex Carrier, who will loft it to center. That's swatted down by Carlo. And he'll get it up ice for Domi. Here goes Robertson in on the left side. Passes through. O'Reilly with a shot. That skitters wide of the net. Bolduc far side quickly to center for Gallagher, who shoots it in. 1-0 Toronto. 15:31 to go in the first. As the Leafs collect it, Nick Robertson will venture out to center ice and then lob it in as Toronto are changing. Noah Dobson parks behind the net, wearing number 53 for Montreal. Played up to center, and back into the half zone it goes. Montembeault out behind the net. Around it goes for Anderson up the boards. Bouncing it into Leaf territory. Tanev under pressure for Patrick Laine. There's going to be a penalty here against Laine. Habs touch it, and the Leafs are going to the power play for the first time tonight.
Patrick Laine is going to take a hooking penalty as this puck gets tied up on Tanev as he's going back to retrieve it. Laine gets his hands over the top of Tanev's stick. And that's an easy call right in front of the referee.
So the Toronto power play will go to work for the first time this year. They were 9th best in the NHL last year, 24.8%. We would be watching closely, JP, this Montreal PK, which was 9th best in the NHL last year, but a pretty hefty personnel change in the offseason sees a new look for them.
Yeah, you do with Armia, who moves on and heads out west to LA, and you know that Jake Evans is going to be there. But it's the opportunity that we're looking at this season, very early on for Newhook, who has to find that spot and take advantage of all of his speed when he's killing penalties.
Habs get this out to center early. Here goes Anderson in on the right side. Anderson peels back, and now back up the middle. Little backhander on Stolarz. And he's going to have to freeze that in the Leaf zone. So a good start to the PK there. That kills 16 seconds and gets an ozone faceoff from Montreal.
Well, take a look at Josh Anderson really leaning into the role that Marty St. Louis has carved out for him. And I think understood the benefit that it could bring to the team last year. He's always been a terrific skater and a big body, very aggressive. He puts people on their heels, and you look at him as he collects that puck. Just didn't get too much on that backhand, but he was still able to walk down the slot to get a pretty decent shot in on Stolarz.
Here go the Leafs to center. That's broken up. Oliver Kapanen the other way. Down the wing. Scores! Yassine Mane and Samanin Mone. First NHL goal for Oliver Kapanen. Mika Hetki Kapanenele. What a moment for Kapanen to open up the goal scoring for Montreal.
Well, just a crazy moment for Kapanen as he benefits from a turnover, skates that puck in, and it's a good hard shot, goes far side and beats Stolarz. Stolarz comes out, not sure if the angle was great, but that shot was even better, beats him under the blocker. I mentioned it earlier. Can you believe breaking camp at 22, you making that team as a third line, and on your first shot of the game, you bag a shorthanded goal in Toronto to open up your account, tied at 1, just under 15 minutes. Leafs still on the power play for 1 minute and 25 seconds.
18 games last year for Kapanen in the NHL. Never got one. As here go the Leafs right back the other way. Quick one-timer is caught and frozen by Sam Montembeault. That's a great moment there for Oliver Kapanen. He got 3 at the end of the year in the playoffs with Laval and had 15 in 36 games last year in the Swedish League. But that is a well-earned first NHL goal for the young Finn.
Oh, it sure is. What a shot that was. I felt that when he got the goal against Ottawa in the preseason, it was going to do him some good, and he's probably getting a little bit closer. It's just a matter of making the team out of camp. But here he is, and there he's got his first.
Habs play it down the ice as Stolarz will leave it. 6 minutes into the season, we're tied at 1. We've already got one finished goal call on the year as well.
I'm telling you, Victor, I don't know how many more languages you can go for, but I'm here for it.
Leafs into the O-zone. Here's a shot from Bobby McMahon. That goes wide of the net. It's going to ride all the way around the boards out to center. 49 seconds to go in the 5-on-4 for Toronto. I told you before the game that Kapanen was my pick to open up the goal scoring this year for the Habs. As here goes Alex Newhook down the way. He tried to go the same way as Kapanen did, but he missed. And the puck goes out to center. Boy, the Habs looking good here, shorthanded.
Well, is it the Habs looking good, or is this just some careless play right now for the Leafs? Very, very ordinary looking power play right now. Finally getting back to Nylander, seeing if he can get something going.
Tried to weave in over the line. That's broken up by Montreal. And cleared all the way down the ice off the glass. As Riley will pick it up. Just 12 seconds left to go in the 5-on-4. 7 minutes into the first. We're tied at 1. The Leafs deep into Montreal territory. Near side corner. Puck comes loose for Caden Dooley. And he'll bounce it out to center for Jake McCabe. Gives it right to Suzuki. He'll take a shot. That's caught by Stolarz just as the power play expired. Stolarz opts to hang on to that. We're going to get our first break of the night. 1-1 already. Bobby McMahon for Toronto. Oliver Kapanen, his first NHL goal for Montreal on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Why do families love 5G Plus? It's perfect for when you get to the party, send your dad and I a
text, I know.
And for
Grandma, tilt your camera down. I can only see your forehead.
And even for
hey, we said no phones while camping.
But I'm looking up how to build a tent.
Right. Thanks, buddy.
Switch to Canada's fastest 5G Plus network. It's perfect for families. With Bell, the more phone lines you get, the more you save. Save up to $30 a month on additional lines with an eligible plan. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca for details. Bell, the perfect family plan, just got better.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around. In the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation, Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in, it matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to LeCage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At LeCage, everyone's a fan.
Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Back in Toronto, tied at 1 here. It was a hot start for Toronto. Came out of the gates, first minute, scored up 3-0 in the shot total. But GP, it's really turned here after or during really that Leaf power play.
Yeah, that was some sloppy play by the Leafs, especially in the neutral zone. But I'll tell you what, you look at that blocker save that Sam Montembeault made on the first shot of the game, a very dangerous shot from the high slot. That could have easily been a 2-0 lead for the Leafs. Instead, the Canadiens able to capitalize on Kapanen's first.
12:43 on the clock in the first period. Habs with the top line out there. Ozone face-off, but the Leafs take it away. And out to center they go. This is played in down the far wing. Hudson is the first to it for Montreal. Into the far corner. Loose puck picked up by Lorentz for Toronto. Back to the line. Long-range shot knocked down in front. But the rebound is clear to the far side boards. There's Keaton Dooley with it. He'll play it around. Leafs on the forecheck, but the Canadiens will jump ahead to center. Here goes Hudson up in the rush. Off of the far wing for Suzuki. Back over Slavkovsky. Takes the shot that rattles right off the helmet of Anthony Stolarz.
That's so close to going in.
Habs far side with it. Cycled around down low for Caulfield. Over to Slavkovsky. Near side up top, Carrier. Far side. Skated down the wing by Arbor Jacki. He'll skate back up to the blue line. Jacki turns around, trying to wrist her. That was blocked by Steven Lorentz. And that's a stinger. He'll go back to the bench. Leafs are changing. Habs play right back in. Bolduc in on the forecheck, and he's going to end up sending this puck out of play over the glass.
Well, if we get another look at that, I think you'll see how close this shot off the wall from Slavkovsky comes. It takes a little bit of a tip as it goes in, but Stolarz didn't pick up on him, catches him right in the cat's eye mask.
11:33 to go in the first. Ozone face-off for the Habs. 1-1 game. Leafs win it and then give it away. Here's Carrier from the line. Steps in with a low shot. That's blocked by Simon Benoit. There's been some careless puck management tonight for Toronto that's resulted in a number of Habs chances here. Shots now 8-5 Montreal.
Victor, you see that one in particular as it comes back to Carrier. Lucky that it lands on Carrier's stick, and that's no knock to Carrier, but that's just a blind lateral pass, diagonal actually, that comes through the Leafs slot. It ends up on Carrier's stick, walks in, and Simon Benoit, presence of mind to get down and get real big in front of Stolarz, makes that block.
That was an icy call against Montreal, so the face-off is in the Habs, or rather, no, it's in the neutral zone here. As the Leafs win it back, this will be played out through center by Jake McCabe and in past Mike Matheson. Deep in the Habs zone, Noah Dobson with it. Up for Ivan Demidov. Through center, Kapanen down the right side. Out there with Demidov and Newhook, but the Leafs steal it away and skate out to center. Nyes flips it in. First to it is Noah Dobson. He gives it away to Riley, who takes a shot. Sharp redirection to the far side. Jake McCabe taken out along the boards by Newhook as the puck is flipped down the ice. And back into the Leaf zone for Austin Matthews. Toronto start ahead to center. McCabe will fire it in. And around it goes. Dooley is tied up with Tavares, who's got it behind the Montreal net. Tries to center in front. Puck on the near side is guided to the line, but held in by McCabe.
Tavares still so crafty with the puck around the net.
Toronto back out to center. Of course, John Tavares re-signing with the Toronto Maple Leafs as well this offseason at a modest $4.38 million for 4 years.
And close it in on 500, just 6 goals away.
Habs take it behind their own net. On the breakout, here goes Patrick Laine through center. Right in on Willie Nylander. He'll throw it round the boards. And back to the line. Lane Hudson. Far side. Laine back up top. This is played round the boards to the far corner. Oliver Ekman-Larsson steps in there. He'll move it ahead for Tavares. Back over to Benoit. And Toronto come out to center with Nylander. Just bumping it down the ice. 9:22 to go in the first. We are tied at 1. Lane Hudson, the reigning Calder Trophy winner. First rookie to do so for the Habs since Ken Dryden back in 1972. And the Leaf zone it goes. Storlars rolls it round the glass. Battle for it here along the near side hash marks to the point. Here goes Carrier. Low shot. That's deflected walk.
Was looking to see if he could catch Caulfield's stick for a tip.
Leafs play it around to the near side. Steven Lorentz out to center. Nicolas Waugh plays it in for Toronto. And he'll go after it with Arbor Jacki along the end boards. Steven Lorentz back to the blue line. Tanev tries a shot. Good block in front by Suzuki. As the puck rebounds out to center. And into the Leaf zone. Tanev throws it around the boards. Cross-ice pass intercepted by Montreal. Played back in. Stolarz out behind the net. Tanev on the boards. That's cut off. Jake McCabe behind the net. Loose in front. That is Stolarz. And the puck is underneath him somewhere as he hangs on for the whistle with 8:13 to go in the first. We are tied at 1 on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Are you looking for an insurance broker, passionate and professional? With 65 years of experience, SO Insurance has proven to be totally dedicated to serving its clients. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, their brokers have one priority: to find you the best offer available to insure your home, car, and all other types of motorized vehicles. Call 833-370-2704 or visit sor.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SO Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Do you know why the ice in hockey is white?
Because black ice would be way too dangerous?
No, it's because no one would ever see the puck.
Yeah, good point.
Point S, proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Jeez, what's he doing out there? Look how he's skating.
It's like he's still got his summer tires on.
Yeah, good point.
Point S, until December 20th, save up to $100 on a prepaid card when you buy 4 eligible Toyo tires. Details at points.ca.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to LeCage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At LeCage, everyone's a fan.
There's nothing like hockey night in Montreal. See the Habs live at the Bell Center and be part of the NHL's most electric atmosphere. Buy your tickets today.
Hey fans, this is Josh Anderson. Get your tickets now at Canadiens.com/tickets.
The home of your Montreal Canadiens. TSN 690.
Well, 8:13 to go in the first period. We are tied at 1 between Montreal and Toronto. JP, the speed here that we've seen from Montreal after a slow couple first minutes, seems like ever since that power play for the Leafs, Habs have found another gear in their game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Victor. Listen, the game is always going to have ebbs and flows, and you saw the Leafs come out hot. The Canadiens and the Leafs kind of settled down after that. The game's kind of found its own pace. The difference, though, is that the Canadiens are just playing faster right now. That's all there is to it. They're closing down space. They're taking advantage of it. Whenever there's... That should be offside call here, yeah. But whenever the pucks are getting turned over, the Canadiens are just getting them on them faster. So, no, it's no wonder right now Canadiens are out shooting the Leafs 9-5, and that the possession is very much in their favor.
A lot of the best teams, JP, in any league right now, but particularly the NHL, have that speed. And it's good to see Montreal coming out of the gate with it this year as the Leafs win the neutral zone faceoff. Pass up to the Montreal line is broken up. As the Habs play it into the Toronto zone. Domi first to it. He'll move it around the boards. Dakota Joshua up the wing. Newcomer for Toronto, brought in via trade for Vancouver. As here go the Leafs. Domi down the left side with a shot. That's caught by Sam Montembeault, and he will squeeze that tight with the glove.
Well, Domi came in and gets a really strong shot off on that 2-on-1. Looked like he was trying to get that puck over, but ends up releasing it, but fires it right into Sam Montembeault's glove. He'll take that save, but it was more the puck getting shot into the glove than anything.
Max Domi back for another year in Toronto. 8 goals, 33 points in 74 games last year for Toronto.
Had a solid postseason as well.
Now in year 2 of a 4-year deal with the Maple Leafs. Says the Montreal Canadiens from their own zone come up to center with Gallagher looking to stretch down ice for Kirby Dach. This goes offside at the Toronto line with 7:32 to go in the first period. So one thing we were expecting to see, JP, is a pretty even distribution of ice time tonight among this Montreal forward group.
Yeah, no question. I don't think that there's any real reason. I mean, you want to get the win for sure, but there's no reason, I think, early on to ride lines. Just see what everybody's got out there.
Leafs back into their own zone. Comes up the near side. Bobby McMahon up to center ice. Brandon Carlo for Toronto will play it in. And we got a whistle behind the play.
Keep an eye on this. It was a good hit along the wall with Carlo.
And it looks like Zachary Bolduc in there making his official Montreal Canadiens debut tonight.
Well, he almost made a name for himself early in that last shift that he was out with the backhander net front that sent him away to the commercial, but it was Stolars who was able to make a pretty strong save.
Looks like we got a Montreal power play coming up. William Nylander in the box. Habs with a power play for the first time this year. Brought to you by Ford of Canada, official partner of the Montreal Canadiens. And there's a lot of hype right now, JP, around this Montreal power play with the potential they've got. There's some pretty good pieces on both units.
Well, didn't we see the good chemistry early on between Laine and Davidov? They've got them sitting on power play number 2.
Habs win the face-off. First power play unit is out there. Suzuki in the bumper. Slavkovsky right side. Bolduc is net front right now. Caulfield far side. Of course, Lane Hudson up top. Bolduc and Suzuki switch as the Leafs break it up and hammer it down the ice.
That puck just jumped over Suzuki's stick. Couldn't get a handle on it. Leafs were able to pounce.
So Bolduc played the bumper last year in St. Louis. He tied for the team lead with 7 power play goals, all of which came from the bumper spot. As the Habs try and bring it in over the Toronto line, that's broken up. Back out to center. Carried ahead by Nicolas Waugh. All by himself. He's dispossessed of the puck along the near corner. Of course, the Habs had Sean Monahan, who was a marquee bumper player. One of the best in the NHL. Play that spot for the Habs. I'd argue they haven't had a player like him since in that spot. As Habs set it up again. Far side shot. That's blocked in front. And that took down Brandon Carlo. He is gingerly back to his feet.
Keep that puck on this side. Take advantage of it.
Caulfield tried to wrap it around in front. Takes the shot. That's hooked wide of the net, and it's out of play. And the Leafs get a much-needed whistle here because Brandon Carlo still having trouble putting weight on both his feet.
Oh, he's really struggling. Not an easy proposition right there. You know what? I think that might be on the inside of the knee and not on the ankle as Bolduc gets all of that shot.
So that'll see the Montreal Canadiens bring their second power play unit to the ice. Noah Dobson up top with Gallagher, Dach, Demidov, and Laine as the 4 forwards on the ice. The Leafs win the face-off and fire it down ice with 38 seconds to go in this Montreal man advantage. Noah Dobson is the power play 1 quarterback for the New York Islanders the last couple seasons. Dropping it back for Demidov. Drops it again for Dach. Through center, far side, Laine. Back off the boards for Dobson. Laine, 1-touch, Gallagher. Off to Demidov, right side. Back down low, Gallagher. Over to Demidov again. He'll wait, throws it up the middle, and Doc fans on it. Far side line one time, but that's blocked by Tanev. Power play over. No shots from Montreal. As it's carried in behind the net. Gallagher over to line A. Trying to snap it back to the blue line. It comes all the way out to center. And Leafs regain possession. 5:01 to go in the first. We are tied at 1. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play. Although the Habs do have a shorthanded goal, courtesy of Oliver Kapanen. Canadians in their own zone. Battle for it along the near side boards. Mike Matheson wins it. Passes off on the near side. Out to center ice it goes. Morgan Riley passes over. Leafs up to center. Matthew Knies under pressure. Swatted out by Michelli. He's tried to jam it into the half zone. It goes the other way, though. Here's Jake Evans down the right side. His pass is picked off by Tavares. And Michelli bursting up the middle, but Matheson back in time to knock that away. And the Canadians reset behind their own net.
Michelli's a good skater, but no way he's going to be able to pull away from Mike Matheson with the right angle on him. Michelli tries to find some space to escape. Matheson skates him down.
Stretch past the center, finds the mark. Here goes Caulfield right wing, but the shot blows that wide. As it's poked back out to center, Bobby McMahon has a bouncing puck charging right in on Gooley. Tried to feed it up the middle. That's thrown off the glass and out by Slavkovsky. Suzuki into the attacking zone. Throws it over. Slavkovsky up the middle. That's taken away. And the Leafs go back the other way. Here is Bobby McMahon driving in behind the net with Lane Hudson. Worked around, left point, McCabe back across, Tanev over to McCabe again, long shot, that's absorbed by Montembeault with no rebound.
Well, that's a net front play with John Tavares, and that's Cole Caulfield on him, clearing out. Caulfield showing a little bit more defensive prowess as well.
1-1 is the score, 3:23 left in the first period on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Face-Off Inside the NHL returns, taking you deeper behind the scenes than ever before. See it all from the star-studded Four Nations Face-Off tournament.
Us against the world, boys.
To the adrenaline of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
I'm scared of you guys.
With candid interviews and backstage access, experience the sacrifice, the rivalries, and the determination that define NHL greatness.
Just when I thought last year couldn't be topped, here we are.
A new season of Face-Off Inside the NHL. Watch now only on Prime Video.
Hey, so what did you want to talk about?
Well, I want to tell you about Wegovy.
Wegovy?
Yeah, Wegovy.
What about it?
On second thought, I might not be the right person to tell you.
Oh, you're not?
No, just ask your doctor about Wegovy. Yeah, ask for it by name.
Okay, so why did you bring me to the circus?
Oh, I'm really into lion tamers. You know, with the chair and everything.
Ask your doctor for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings. Exclusions may apply.
Miss the good old days? Of course you do. Winnie's on Crescent has always been the place to cheer on Montreal's hockey team. Come enjoy pub fare before, during, and after the game. Who knows who you'll see? Winnie's Bar and Restaurant, 1459 Crescent, winniesbar.com.
Canadiens Hockey is presented by SCORE Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SCORE Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
3:23 to go in the first period. 1-1 tie between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens. GP, it seems like every time these two teams meet up in the first contest of the year, it's always a close game. It's been that way for years now. This is the 11th straight year that the Habs open up the season either at home or on the road against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, it really is something else. Listen, I happen to think it's a terrific tradition that they should continue to lean into.
Yep.
You know, you've got some of those rivalries in the U.S. or some of the bigger markets there, but I don't think you can get your eyes off a Habs-Leafs matchup in Game 1 on night 1.
We got Calgary-Edmonton going tonight, 2 at 10 o'clock Eastern. Little Battle of Alberta action. Boston, Washington just underway tonight now as well. And then a loaded schedule tomorrow in the NHL. As the Habs come out to center, here goes Keaton Gooley snapping it around the boards, looking for Gallagher, side of the net. That was mishandled by Stolars as Kirby Dach throws it high. And off the glass, the Leafs settle it down. Boy, we've seen a lot of that in the Toronto zone. Pucks flying all over the place. As the Habs are up to 10 shots now to Toronto's 7. Carrier back into his own zone to retrieve the puck. Goulet under pressure in the corner. He's trying to pull it away. It's Matthew Nyes tied up with Carrier. Now Benoit in there as well along the boards. So is Bolduc. And it does come loose. Bouncing back behind the Montreal net. Now it squeaks out to center. Toronto with control. Benoit shoots it in. Montembeault settles it down. Over to Carrier. Demidov, one touch out to center. And backhanded in by Zachary Bolduc. And we got a whistle behind the play. We heard high stick there, so I believe that's what's bringing play to a halt.
Well, it was indeed. As that puck comes in, and on that last sequence with Brendan Gallagher, had Gallagher been able to get control of the puck, I think he might have had an opportunity to wrap it around the net. Stolarz had lost his net, had missed the push. Instead, as he tries to wrap it, gets it net front. Kirby Dach almost gets a stick on it. So we have seen a lot of sloppy play by the Leafs. Fortunate not to have cost them more than it already has.
Ozone face-off win for Oliver Kapanen. Here's a long shot from Lane Hudson, and that's absorbed by Anthony Stolarz. That's the first face-off win tonight for Oliver Kapanen. That was something he was pretty good at in the preseason. Of course, a bit of a different animal doing that in the regular season. It'd be nice, though, if he could replace some of what the Habs lose with Christian Dvorak in the face-off circle.
Yeah, I am with you on that one. And listen, the Canadiens don't need another right-handed center, but at the same time, if you get somebody in there that you feel comfortable with, Marty St. Louis will take it.
This is played out to center by Toronto. Nick Robertson has it stripped away by Lane Hudson. 2 minutes to go in the first. We are tied at 1, and the Leafs are going to be whistled down for offside. So Dvorak last year on face-offs, JP, 55.75%. That's to lead Montreal. But as you mentioned, the handedness is key as well here, with Montreal being right-handed heavy now up the middle.
Real heavy. With Suzuki's going to be out there. And Dach, to me, is a guy who's always been real strong in his stick. Hasn't quite shown that he's been up to the task yet. But you look at Jake Evans last year, a tremendous season in the circle, 52.9%.
Neutral zone face-off. Evans wins it back. Of course, the Habs do have another left-handed center here, but he's not playing tonight. That's Joe Veleno, who is the 13th forward as the Leafs come back into the attacking zone. Jake Evans strips this away from Kelly Arncroke. And the Habs will play it out to the neutral zone. Picked up again by Nicolas Waugh. And the Leafs hammer it in. 90 seconds remain in the first period. As this is shot off the glass and out of play by Sam Montembeault.
That puck just ramped up. Depending on how things go tonight, you might get an opportunity to see Veleno. It would be a perfect chance for him to check back in against his old team in Detroit. Canadiens will jump on the plane this evening, get down to Michigan, be ready for tomorrow night's game.
So the first 4 games of the year for Montreal are all home openers. Tomorrow night for Detroit, Saturday night for Chicago, and then of course next week Tuesday at home for the first time against Seattle.
Well, by the end of tomorrow's ceremony, the Canadiens will be sick and tired of it. They'll be anxious for their own, but they will be done. They'll have enough. Let's get down to some regular games.
Habs get it out to center as Nyes carries it into the Montreal zone. Nice to see some original 6 opponents though right off the bat for Montreal.
A strange home opener this year, though.
It is.
With Seattle coming in, and then Nashville right afterwards.
Habs played into the Toronto zone. And, of course, the Habs get their Western Canada road trip out of the way late October as well, which is a little different than the last couple of years. They did it in March. Battle for it behind the Montreal net. Mike Matheson under pressure. Puck comes loose back to Morgan Riley at the line. Across, Carlo, direction around the boards. Loose at the side of the net, picked up again by Montreal, played around by Nick Suzuki, and skipping out past Caulfield through center. Leafs have it with Morgan Riley through center ice. That's intercepted by Gallagher. Gallagher up the middle, but he's pickpocketed by Nylander before he could pull the trigger. 20 seconds to go. Habs back it up to their own end. Loose puck at center. Gallagher in on the far side with Brandon Carlo in tow. Tavares takes it away off the boards. And John Tavares breaks out to center. Still time for the Leafs. 5 seconds. Over the line, Riley up the middle, and Montembeault got a piece right at the buzzer to make sure this game stays tied going to the second.
Canadians almost surprised as Tavares picks up that puck in his own zone. I think a lot of the Canadians looked at it, realized how much time was left, didn't think there was going to be enough time to get up ice, but that's a dangerous play with Riley as he collects that puck in the high slot. Sam Montembeault just gets a piece of it.
A bit of a chaotic start to this one, as one would expect, between Toronto and Montreal on opening night. Bobby McMahon, first goal of the year, 60 seconds in from Nylander and Tavares. And Oliver Kapanen is first in the National Hockey League, shorthanded, unassisted at 5:39. Has us tied at 1 after 20 minutes of play. First intermission shows coming your way next on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Show with Connor McKenna and Sean Starr tackle all the important topics in sports, life, and food. So much food talk. Wake up on the right side of the bed with the morning show. Eat breakfast with all the highlights and analysis of a big game. From hot takes to pancakes, you'll have it all. The morning show with McKenna and Starr. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10. TSN 690.
Why do families love 5G Plus? It's perfect for when you get to the party, send your dad and I.
Text, I know.
And for
Grandma, tilt your camera down. I can only see your forehead.
And even for
Hey, we said no phones while camping.
But I'm looking up how to build a tent.
Right. Thanks, buddy.
Switch to Canada's fastest 5G Plus network. It's perfect for families. With Bell, the more phone lines you get, the more you save. Save up to $30 a month on additional lines with an eligible plan. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca for details. Bell, the perfect family plan, just got better.
IGA, we love the Habs. IGA, we got food to grab. IGA, we've got nachos for all your hockey heroes. When you're on the couch and they're on the ice, we got all the food that's nice. We got your T-bone steak with spice and pizza for game night. No matter the season, IGA is proud to be the official grocer of the Montreal Canadiens. From our 300 merchants and co-ops to our employees, each and every one of us has epic Habs love.
Miss the good old days? Of course you do. Winnie's on Crescent has always been the place to cheer on Montreal's hockey team. Come enjoy pub fare before, during, and after the game. Who knows who you'll see? Winnie's Bar and Restaurant, 1459 Crescent, winniesbar.com.
For over 10 years, Novo has teamed up with thousands of employers to establish high-performance OHS game plans. We excel in our field by providing top-level, comprehensive, and integrated occupational health, safety, well-being, and human resources services. Being part of your success is our greatest motivation and pushes us to innovate every day. Together, we are creating healthy, dedicated, and safe workplaces. Novo is a proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Here, we like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee. Made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
This isn't just a game. It's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Be there at the Bell Center on April 17th and Plus Bell on April 18th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
The first intermission is brought to you by Wegovy. Ask your doctor for Wegovy by name and visit wegovy.ca for savings. Some exclusions may apply.
Here go the Leafs to center. That's broken up. Oliver Kapanen the other way. Down the wing. Scores! Yassine Mane and Samanin Mone. First NHL goal for Oliver Kapanen. Mika Hetke Kapanenele. What a moment for Kapanen to open up the goal scoring for Montreal.
Welcome back to Montreal Canadiens hockey here on TSN 690, broadcasting live at our Habs season launch party. How's everybody doing?
What?
Nobody Nobody does that. After one period of play, the Canadiens and Maple Leafs are tied 1-1. The Leafs goal from Bobby McMahon, from Nylander and Tavares. 1 minute into the hockey game. And then the goal you just heard, Oliver Kapanen. His first NHL goal, short-handed. So 1-1 after one here on TSN 690. It's time for the first intermission roundtable. I'm Gallo with Sean Campbell, and we welcome in Sean Starr and Simon Selekis.
Yeah, good
Guys,
to be here.
Welcome to Montreal Canadiens hockey. Welcome to Game 1. And how about that goal for Oliver Kapanen? Everybody wondering about the chemistry with Demidov and Kapanen. Well, who cares about the chemistry between those two? He gets it done shorthanded.
Well, that's why we had the preseason, right? I mean, you saw when Martin St. Louis decided to break them up, get Doc, Line A, Demidov out of that trio. You immediately saw what looked to be instant chemistry. You saw calmer Demidov. You saw, I think, a more situational player in Kapanen. Like, no disrespect to Patrick Laine, but like he knows where to be at 5-on-5 regularly. And I think that type of experience for me, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I think it just makes Demidov better and puts him in more comfortable spots more consistently, and that's what they're looking for.
And that's his quick ticket to playing 82 games with the Habs. There's a void. The Dvorak Armia void is something that this coaching staff had to, Evans, Anderson, who else can play the penalty kill? And if he can do that and create turnovers and obviously capitalize, makes it a lot easier for him to stick around. But there's a void there, and if he can fill that void, that's his easiest ticket to staying up.
It's interesting because last year in 18 games, Oliver Kapanen playing fourth line, no special teams, on the wing, zero real offensive opportunities. Mitch and I have been discussing it. Mitch, you can elaborate. You're like, I don't know where the offense is going to come from. Everywhere else he plays, he has offense in his game. I think that was his first ever offensive opportunity, and he took advantage of it, shorthanded.
Well, listen, it's all about earning it, right? Like Mark Denny pounds that into our muscle memory a few times a week on the morning show, and that's how you earn those minutes. And like we were talking with a few listeners in the back, talking about 93 and Demidov and, how's his season going to play out. It's almost going to be like, can you not predict it's going to be like Hudson? It's going to be only a matter of time before he gets more high-profile roles with better minutes.
So, Campbell, just to answer your question for me, I wasn't saying that Kapanen can't produce offensively. Just because of what I saw in 18 games, wasn't sure.
Yeah, I don't think in 18 games he had it like a shot.
And then he looked real good in that game in Quebec City when he was first put with Demidov. He scores in that game, and now he's getting opportunity. Simon, you mentioned the penalty kill.
Have you been arguing this for like days? Because it looks like you...
No.
Okay. Well, I said Kapanen was going to be nominated for the Calder with Demidov.
Oh,
I like that. So many Rookies of the Year candidates. What's happening?
And Hage and Fowler both co-Calders next year.
No. One in the year after, that'll be 4 years in a row.
What did we look up? That the Dodgers had won 5?
It was 4.
I think it was 5.
It was 5 consecutive in the 90s.
Did you know that? They won 5
I'm trying to go through them in my head quickly,
Sorry, Rookie of the Years.
Rookie of the Years. Yeah. Was it Eric Karros?
Yeah, for sure.
Eric Karros, DOMO, I think maybe.
Raul Mondesi or something?
Yeah.
That's going to be
Piazza?
That's going to be
Piazza was one. Yeah.
I don't know the other one.
Anyways,
look at me dropping baseball knowledge.
Baseball knowledge, out-of-town scoreboard coming up eventually here. 1-1 Yankees and Blue Jays.
Let's go.
Guys, the other thing I want to get to quickly here, the reason the Canadiens were on the penalty kill when Kapanen scored, it's because Patrick Laine takes the penalty. Patrick Laine, like right away, when he does anything, I get a bunch of text messages from fans and friends of mine that really don't appreciate the way he plays. The penalty that Laine took, it's a stick infraction on the forecheck. I think it's because he's working hard. Others will call it lazy. Do you think it's a hard-working penalty, or do you think Laine took a lazy stick penalty?
No, I think it's a hard work, because if you're lazy, you don't put your stick in there. You just go through the motions, right? But my takeaway from only 20 minutes of hockey, if he's playing on the fourth line and he's not getting the first look on the power play, I don't know how much he can bring on the regular. Fourth line, second unit, power play, 30 seconds. I don't know where he's going to get his opportunities.
Well, look, it's going to be interesting for Martin St. Louis. It's a big year for him. Like, we talk about, who's on the ice and the roles that they play. Martin St. Louis managing a better team. This is not, whether you agree with the rebuild being over or not, they've definitely turned a corner. And now it's about managing roles, and guys want to play 5-on-5. And a star like Patrick Laine, who's born to fire pucks into the net, if he feels like he's not getting his ice time, what type of player is he going to be? What type of teammate is he going to be? So I have no problem. Like watching that, I wouldn't ever interpret that as a lazy penalty. Like, he's fully aware, just as all of us and everybody in this room is, he has to be better 5-on-5. There's no doubt about it. Like, and that's where I'll bring it back to MSL, Mitch. It's like, someone's got to coach this guy up when it comes to when he gets the puck with speed in the neutral zone. What does he do with it? What does he do with it next? And so putting him with line mates who I think can be contagious in terms of their work ethic. I love where he's at on this fourth line because he has no choice but to bust hump. He's got to play hard because he's on a line with two guys that's their identity.
One of my favorite players to ever play for the Canadiens. If he got a stick infraction on the forecheck in the first period, I knew he was going to have one hell of a game. And his name was Alexander Radulov. He was notorious for it. He would take those stick penalties all the time because, and I watched it, I said, he's engaged.
Yeah.
I want that to be Patrick Laine. I don't know through one period watching him take one penalty. If he's engaged the rest of the game, I'm going to transfer that theory, my Radulov theory, to Patrick Laine.
It's funny, Campbell, because I brought it up because I thought about you and all the times you would tell me about the Radulov penalties being penalties because he was working hard, because I thought that's what Laine's penalty was in the first period. Guys, very quickly, one key to the second period each year. Canadiens and Leafs tied at 1 after 1. Sean.
Speed. They started the game a little slow for my liking, but we're talking about the youngest team in hockey again, right? After making history last year. I think if they can get that confidence and keep the speed, keep the puck, that's his plan, they'll be good.
Next time on the power play, pounds. That's it.
All right, I was going to say speed. Thanks for stealing it. I'll say transition. I like the way that the Canadiens are trying to go blue line to blue line.
Sean? Simon, thanks for stopping by.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for having us, Mitch.
Yeah. Great job, Simon.
Morning show tomorrow, 6 a.m. with McKenna and Starr. Simon, when are you on next? You know?
Oh, I'm back on the starters on Saturday and Sunday.
All right.
Following my boy Mitch Gallo.
Following me on the Play It Again.
Play it again.
That's Simon Silikas, Sean Campbell with me as well. Thank you very much, Sean Starr. Coming up next, we'll get you caught up with the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll tell you what's happening in baseball and around the National Hockey League. 1-1 after 1, Maple Leafs and Canadiens in Toronto.
You're listening to the home of sports in Montreal. TSN 690, CKGM, and iHeart Radio Station.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. That's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
Hey, so what did you want to talk about?
Well, I want to tell you about Wegovy.
Wegovy?
Yeah, Wegovy.
What about it?
On second thought, I might not be the right person to tell you.
Oh, you're not?
No, just ask your doctor about Wegovy. Yeah, ask her it by name.
Okay, so why did you bring me to the circus?
Oh, I'm really into lion tamers. You know, with the chair and everything.
Ask your doctor for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings. Exclusions may apply.
Do you know why the ice in hockey is white? Because black ice would be way too dangerous? No, it's because no one would ever see the puck. Yeah, good point.
Point S, proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Jeez, what's he doing out there? Look how he's skating. It's like he's still got his summer tires on. Yeah, good point.
Point S, until December 20th, save up to $100 on a prepaid card when you buy 4 eligible Toyo tires. Details at points.ca.
$1 wings! $1 wings! $1 wings! Boston Pizza has the ultimate lineup. During every Montreal game this season, our wings are only $1 each at Boston Pizza. Come in for some delicious wings, an ice-cold Molson, and a great game. Now that's a winning trio. Visit bostonpizza.com to find a Boston Pizza near you and reserve your table. Boston Pizza is the place to be. See details in restaurant.
The first intermission is brought to you by Wegovy. Ask your doctor for Wegovy by name and visit wegovy.ca for savings. Some exclusions may apply.
Welcome back to Montreal Canadiens hockey here on TSN 690. It's 1-1 between the Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens after one period of play. Montreal's goal, a shorthanded from Oliver Kapanen. Elsewhere in the National Hockey League, only one other game currently in action, the Boston Bruins and Washington Capitals. They are in the first intermission. 0-0 is the score. Later tonight, In a couple hours, 10 o'clock puck drop, the Edmonton Oilers take on the Calgary Flames. And then also at 10 o'clock tonight, the Vegas Golden Knights and the LA Kings. Kings having to play back-to-back after losing yesterday against the Colorado Avalanche. Major League Baseball, the Detroit Tigers topped the Seattle Mariners 9-3 in Game 4 of the ALDS, which means series all tied up at 2. We're going to get a deciding game number 5. The Chicago Cubs lead the Milwaukee Brewers 4-3. That game headed to the top of the 9th inning. And the Toronto Blue Jays and New York Yankees. That game headed to the bottom of the 4th. It is 1-1. Same scoreline as Montreal and Toronto, actually. And coming up next year on TSN 690, the second period with Victor Finley and JP O'Connor.
Whether it's gas, electric, or hybrid, Ford vehicles are always powered by pride. And just like the great teams that inspire us, we always strive for the highest honors. Our lineup is strong, agile, and built to perform. We give it our all to help you and your crew achieve great feats, experience great thrills, and competently drive to the next great adventure. Your local Ford dealers, proud partners of the Montreal Canadiens. Ready, set, Ford.
Why do families love 5G Plus? It's perfect for
When you get to the party, send your dad and I a text. I know.
and for
Grandma, tilt your camera down. I can only see your forehead.
and even for
Hey, we said no phones while camping.
But I'm looking up how to build a tent.
Right. Thanks, buddy.
Switch to Canada's fastest 5G Plus network. It's perfect for families. With Bell, the more phone lines you get, the more you save. Save up to $30 a month on additional lines with an eligible plan. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca for details. Bell, the perfect family plan, just got better.
You don't want to miss the next Molson and Montreal Canadiens viewing party on Saturday, October 25th at Resto Bar La Maisonnée in Montreal. Come cheer on the Canadiens with fellow fans. Plenty of prizes, including game tickets, jerseys, alumni appearances, entertainment, and Molson specials. Join the fun at a destination Canadiens bar near you for all Molson Zone viewing parties throughout the season. For full locations and dates, visit zonemolson.ca. Must be legal drinking age.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to La Cage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At La Cage, everyone's a fan.
There's nothing like hockey night in Montreal. See the Habs live at the Bell Center and be part of the NHL's most electric atmosphere. Buy your tickets today.
Hey fans, this is Josh Anderson. Get your tickets now at Canadiens.com/tickets.
This is Montreal Canadiens hockey on your home of the Habs, TSN 690.
Back in Toronto, 1-1 tie between the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs, about 40 seconds away from puck drop. And period number 2, Oliver Kapanen, Bobby McMahon, the goal scorers from the first. JP, bit of a chaotic period on either side. I don't really know. I guess you give the edge to Montreal given the way they finished that period.
Oh, you have to. There's no question. Everybody gets that first period under their belt. After a jittery start, I think the Canadiens had to be pleased with how they played. Their pace was elevated. I think it was just faster than the Leafs. And if I'm the Leafs going back, I know that I've got a lot more to offer here in the second period. So the Canadiens have to be ready for a solid pushback.
Everybody accounted for here on both sides as we are ready to go from center ice for period number 2 at Scotiabank Arena. Matthews starts out with Niza Michelli, Caulfield, Slavkovsky, and Suzuki for Montreal. Matheson, Dobson on the line as the Habs playing into Toronto territory to start us off in the second stanza. Toronto to center. Chris Tanev floats it ahead. Austin Matthews steers it round the boards as it's played to the near side. Tanev throws it right off the referee. Picked out of the corner by Austin Matthews. Matheson knocks him over behind the net. Michelli now on the way. Trying to corkscrew away from Noah Dobson. Michelli stops at the hash marks and then feeds it off to Matthews. Matthews turns it around, long shot, easy save for Sam Montembeault with the glove.
Michelli gets that puck back to Matthews, and that's going to be the duo. I think that the Leafs hope really works out. Michelli comes over in the offseason. Didn't have a terrific year last year, but he's only 2 years removed from just about 60 points playing in Arizona. He's an elite puck mover, and I think that the Leafs are hoping that there can be some chemistry between Matthews and Michelli.
Toronto in the attacking zone. Tavares far side on the ice with Nylander and McMahon. Montreal pick up the loose puck, and it's carried to center by Newhook. Out there with Demidov, who's got it now. Kapanen up the middle. Deep into the Toronto zone. Demidov throws it just wide of the net. Kapanen throws it right back around at Stolarz, and he will cover up and freeze that for the stoppage.
Was not taking any chances. Stolarz, a little bit of an awkward play. But there's another example of the lateral movement, the ability of Demidov as he gets down low, gets close to that goal line, makes it look like he might even take it behind the net, but it's just a quick move with his left leg, brings him to just below the circle, gets a bit of a shot off, doesn't get all of it, but gets enough on it there to make it a dangerous play net front.
Just underway in the second. Still tied at 1. Ozone faceoff for Montreal. Kirby Dach is in to take it with Bolduc and Gallagher. But the Leafs take it away and skate to center. Nick Robertson plays it in past Lane Hudson. Hudson will steer it off the boards. And Arbor Jacki plays it out to center ice. Bouncing far side. Gallagher with a shot. Stopped by Stolarz. Rebound. They score. Zach Bolduc puts it in for Montreal. Off the shot from Gallagher, Montreal have taken their first lead of the night, 2-1.
Well, I don't know if Dach is going to collect an assist on this one, but it gets chipped into the zone or deflected into the zone by Dach. Gallagher picks this puck up off a fortunate bounce, almost beats Stolarz himself. Stolarz just gets the right pad out in time, but Bolduc's coming in with a great head of steam, collects that puck, controls it, brings it over to his backhand, and slides it into a wide open cage. Canadiens take the lead.
Zach Bolduc, 22 years of age out of Trois-Rivières, played junior in Rimouski and Quebec City, and now scores his first in his debut as a Montreal Canadien. As the Habs right back at it. Here's Lane Hudson, opts to hang on to it in front of the Toronto net. Looks like for now Kirby Dach's going to have an assist on that, as well as Gallagher, as this is thrown wide by Laine off the far side. Lane Hudson breaks the ankles of Chris Tanev, but he's smothered in the corner by Waugh. Hudson still held up along the boards. Waugh gives it away in the middle. Here's a chance for Evans, but his shot is redirected by Jake McCabe out of play.
Well, sticks were shattered all over the place. Laine had to go back to the bench, and then it was a Leaf stick that broke. And you appreciate that play. You get it to the middle. You attack the guy who doesn't have the stick. Jake Evans gets a shot off, but gets deflected up into the cage, into the netting.
So Bolduc, 19 goals last year for the St. Louis Blues, and now 1 this year for Montreal. So the kids, pair of 22-year-olds, Oliver Kapanen and Zach Bolduc, giving the Habs the lead.
Yeah, Zach Bolduc only played in his 98th NHL game tonight.
Here's Oliver Kapanen going to work in the forecheck deep in the Toronto zone. Near side corner, puck is held up. And it comes loose far side. It's reeled in by Noah Dobson. Far side, Demidov on the wing. Trying to dance out in front of the net. That's broken up by Toronto. And held in by Dobson. He'll throw it around the boards. Far side, Demidov tracks it down. Kapanen tries a one-time shot. That's blocked by Tavares. And out to center it goes. Bouncing around in the neutral zone. Leafs take it away. Far side, Nylander in on Mike Matheson. Nylander turns away. And then passes over. Tanev back toward the net. That's steered aside. And the Canadiens able to clear it down the ice. Demidov has iced the puck 3 minutes and 3 seconds into the second period.
Oh, it's a tough one. Demidov's been out there for a little while, and Morgan Riley had just about enough of Demidov on that shift. Same play that we talked about just a few moments ago when he gets the puck down in the goal line. Did the same thing to Riley. Riley had to be sharp, otherwise that was going to be an easy path to the net for Demidov.
Noah Dobson flies it to center, and Oliver Kapanen steers it in the rest of the way. As the Leafs back in their own zone with Oliver Ekman-Larsson start ahead to the neutral zone. Here goes Matthews far wing. Now the half zone broken up by Lane Hudson. Leafs take it right back. Matthews up the near side, switches with Ekman-Larsson. Slides it down low, Suzuki to it, tied up with Michelli. Behind the Montreal net, Suzuki picks it up, and he'll roll it out to the neutral zone. Here goes Matthews, right back in for Toronto. Near side, trying to play it into the slot. That's broken up. Caulfield out to center.
Canadians have numbers.
Far side, Caulfield in on McCabe, hits the brakes. Now passes off up high. Gooley near side. Suzuki tried to go back through the middle. That pass is broken up. Now zipped over to the near side boards and nudged out to center for Gooley as the Canadians backtrack, tag up. And then back in they go. Here's Suzuki over to Lane Hudson. That puck rolled on him. Couldn't settle it down for the shot. Far side, downhill. Suzuki with a wrist, but that's blocked by Jake McCabe. And the Habs settle it down again. Far side, Hudson across. Gooley through the middle. Nick Suzuki. Back over to Lane Hudson, and he's under pressure from Dakota Joshua. As this puck does get out to center ice. Slavkovsky gets it over to Gooley.
We've seen this Canadiens line do it to the Leafs. Keep that puck down low in the zone. Get a line change. New bodies coming on.
Habs in the ozone. Hard one-timer from Arbor Jacki. That's ripped right on. That's a 96-mile-an-hour one-timer for Jacki that's stopped by Stolars.
Well, and that shot comes around because of the Suzuki line. They had all kinds of possession in zone. What ends up happening there is you start to get tired, you retreat back to the crease, and that puck slides out to Arbor Jacki, who can really lean into two glorious opportunities, though, that the Canadians missed on that last shift. When Nick Suzuki gets back to the bench, takes a look at the iPad, there's a one-time opportunity that he had. Had he one-timed it, it would have been a 3-1 lead.
Rolling puck back into the Montreal zone. Arbor Jacki goes back for it. Hit hard into the boards by Joshua as the puck goes out to center ice. Broken up by Toronto. They send it out of play, deflected off of Carrier into the Leaf bench with 14:39 to go in the second. Montreal up 2-1. Zach Bolduc, the lone goal here so far in the second period from Brendan Gallagher and Kirby Dach. And Kirby Dach, one of those guys looking to get off to a hotter start this season. A point in the assist column will help that.
Well, that's the most scrutinized position on the Habs by far this season, the second line center role.
Dach is back on the ice here with Bolduc and Gallagher as the Leafs win the neutral zone faceoff. Riley carries it in up the middle with a wrister. That's stopped by Montembeault. Loose on the doorstep. Still there, and Bolduc clears it to the far boards. Still in the Montreal zone. Lorenz kicks it back to the line. Riley's shot blocked in front. They score. Calle Yardcroak for Toronto. Off the scramble in front, throws it home, and the Leafs answer back to tie the game at 2.
Well, there was an opportunity just a few seconds prior, and it was Bolduc goes down to his knees, doesn't have any help around him, and rather than collect that puck and hold it, he fires it off into the corner, creates the turnover. Gallagher can't get a control over it either, gets back to the point, gets fed right back in, and it's a net front scramble. That puck gets fed between Sam Montembeault's legs.
So Calle Yardcroak, who scored just one goal last year, played 19 games, missed significant time with a hand injury for Toronto.
He also had a sports hernia injury that he was dealing with. Tough injury, but that's the start that Yardcroak wants.
Played 13 games in the postseason for Toronto as well.
See, he's 20 goal scorer once upon a time with the Leafs. Not too long ago, just a couple of years ago. So he's got it in him, and if they can get some goals out of Yardcroak deep in the lineup, even a guy like Nick Roy, who's come over from Vegas, he gets some some numbers out of those guys, you can start to fill in for some of the void left by Marner.
That 20 goals are 22-23 for Calen Yarncroke. He's in the final year of a 4-year deal for Toronto. Morgan Riley and Steven Lorentz grab the assist. It says, here goes Anderson back into the Toronto zone. He'll swing it around the boards. Gets it back behind Stolarz. Far side, curled back behind the net again. As it's steered to the near side, picked up by Laine. Laine carries it around Nylander, hands off, back through the middle. Matheson with it. Far side corner, Matheson peels back. He'll drop it to Jake Evans. Now Laine off the cycle. Back down low again. This is picked off by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Worked ahead for Bobby McMahon, and he'll slide that off the boards down the ice. Past Noah Dobson, no icing.
Victor, I'll tell you, I have not been impressed at all this evening with the Toronto Maple Leafs in-zone coverage. They've gotten caught flat-footed a lot so far through the first two periods.
Leafs out to center. Broken up, though, by Lane Hudson. And Lane Hudson fires it down far side. Good pass for Demidov. Through the middle. That's shot and deflected out of play as Oliver Kapanen was looking for another. Zachary Bolduc, his first as a Montreal Canadien, has given the Habs a 2-1 lead with 13:04 to go in the second period on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
On October 28th, score health points and meet with the Montreal Canadiens alumni at the Bell Center. From 9 a.m. until 6 p.m., take part in a free vaccination day organized by the Quebec Lung Association. Influenza, pneumonia, COVID-19, RSV, shingles. Protect yourself. Take care of your health and enjoy a unique moment with the Montreal Canadiens alumni on October 28th at Espace 1909 in the Bell Center.
Eligibility criteria, details, and registration at poumonquebec.ca.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
Canadiens Hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Back and forth on opening night here between the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs, tied at 2, 13:04 remaining in the second period of play, and the shot's 15-12 for Montreal as well. JP, it feels like this game could go any direction here as we approach the second half of it.
Well, the Canadiens should have been up 3-1, quite frankly, on the shift where both Suzuki and Hudson missed on opportunities, and it's just the way it happens, isn't it? Yarncroke comes right back up, collects on a sloppy Canadiens turnover in zone. The Leafs are able to get it back on net, and Yarncroke's able to capitalize for goal number 1 of the season.
So Montreal back to work in the Toronto zone for an O-zone face-off. It'll be the Suzuki line on the ice. And they win the face-off back. Here's Lane Hudson over to Caden Gooley. Long shot. That's deflected a couple times wide of the net. And the Leafs play it around the boards as Matias Michelli works it ahead to center. Deep into half territory. Nye is back for it with Matthews. Right side, chopped that by Tanev, and this rides high over the glass into the netting out of play.
Well, you'd be looking for the big line to come back with Matthews out there right now. Michelli and Nye. I'm looking for big things for Nye this season. I think the Toronto Maple Leafs have to be looking for it as well. He's a huge kid physically. He's still only 22 years old, but he's somebody that if he can stay healthy and Matthews can stay healthy as well, he's going to continue to grow as an offensive presence out there for the Leafs. Scored 29 goals last year. I think he could be a 35-goal scorer this season.
29 goals, 58 points, both career highs. Here's Domi right off the draw. Quick shot is smothered by Sam Montembeault. Of course, there's a lot of questions, JP, for a lot of players of What are they going to be now without Mitch Marner, a 100-point player last year for Toronto? Nice is one of those guys.
Yeah, he sure is. I mean, it's not easy when you lose that kind of offensive ability and confidence out there. It's somebody that everything went through in Marner, but still have to find a way. And it's not like Nyes doesn't have the skill to be able to take on some of that duty.
Leafs back into their own zone. Played ahead to center for Nick Robertson. But the Canadiens take it right back, and Kapanen dumps it in. And on the forecheck, pressures Riley as the puck goes back out to center. Have shoot it in right to Brandon Carlo. Carlo fires it down the far side. And the Leafs chip it in. Nick Robertson, far wing, turns around, back to the line, swing and a miss by Benoit. Here's Ekman Larsson with a try, looking in front for the deflection. That one went wide.
Well, that was to his own D partner. That was a deflection attempt by Benoit.
Habs sweep it out. Down the ice, rolling just wide of Stolarz as the Leafs start to get some more momentum here, going back their way with 11:43 remaining in the second.
Well, where that sequence started, Victor, it was a sloppy line change by the Canadiens. Got kind of caught up. You saw one of the Canadiens jump over the bench and then try to hold up, come right back. And I think it catches everybody off guard and allows the Leafs to get into the zone, at least get set up a little bit. And that's a pretty close chance there. But such an unusual play by Benoit, who had fanned on the initial shot. Puck comes back to his partner. His partner gets his head up and says, hey, why not? I pass it to you at the blue line. I might as well see if we can connect for an assist and a goal.
Habs roll it down the ice. It will not have enough for icing. Oliver Ekman Larsson behind his own net. Now 7th all-time in points by a Swedish-born defenseman. History of the National Hockey League.
Some pretty heady company to be hanging out with there for the 34-year-old.
500 points even for Ekman Larsson in his career as the puck goes out to center. Here's Chris Tanev with it. Off to Bobby McMahon. Leafs to center ice. Nylander picks it up. Right up the middle, off on the far side. Shot incoming from Tavares. It's quickly snagged by Montembeault for the whistle.
Now that shift that we just saw and the passing exchange, that's more what you're used to seeing from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Collect the puck, a couple of quick passes, get the puck up to Nylander, who's got all the confidence in the world, walks right down the spine of the ice, gets it out to Tavares. Tavares gets a great shot off on net, has that puck labeled for the top right-hand corner, and a strong glove save by Sam Montembeault, who collects it.
10:57 to go in the second period. John Tavares now, this is game number 60 for him in his career against the Habs. He's got 52 points in 59 games against Montreal. As here goes Josh Anderson to the attacking zone. Down the wing, tries a shot, off the body and wide. Leafs steer it to center, no further. It's knocked down by Carrier. Here goes Laine, fans on a wrister. Side of the net, Laine collects it in front. Evans passes over, through into the slot for Carrier now. Back over to Jake Evans. Far side pass finds the mark. Back across, intercepted by Carlo. And the Leafs get it out through center.
That's one too many passes. That puck needed to be delivered to the net. Gooley trying to get a bit too cute with it.
Seen that a couple times here from Montreal, especially this period, haven't we? Leafs out to center. Roll it into Montreal territory. Yarncroc to the unboards with Gooley. Picked up by Carrier, lifted out to center. McCabe knocks it down. They'll saucer it back through the neutral zone. Nicolas Waugh in on Gooley. Into the near side corner they go. Yarncroc with it. Can't get a shot away. Caulfield out to center. Caulfield tried to play it through the middle for Slavkovsky, but it goes right to Stolarz, and he'll cover up.
That's a tough play that has to be made by Caulfield. He collects it, handles it, but manages to get it at least into the Maple Leaf zone on net for a Canadiens face-off.
Cal Yarncroc ties the game for Toronto. We are at 2 goals apiece on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Why do families love 5G Plus? It's perfect for
When you get to the party, send your dad and I.
Text, I know.
and for
Grandma, tilt your camera down. I can only see your forehead.
and even for
Hey, we said no phones while camping?
But I'm looking up how to build a tent.
Right. Thanks, buddy.
Switch to Canada's fastest 5G Plus network. It's perfect for families. With Bell, the more phone lines you get, the more you save. Save up to $30 a month on additional lines with an eligible plan. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca for details. Bell, the perfect family plan, just got better.
Are you looking for a damage insurance broker that specializes in commercial insurance? There is only one name, SOR Insurance. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, SOR Insurance brokers are the perfect advisors for you. With more than 65 years experience, SOR Insurance is proud of its team of brokers who stand out for their ability to select the best products for your business. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Need extra space for products, tools, or seasonal stock? The Podium Mini Entrepot gives your business flexible storage and the room to grow. Affordable storage that scales with you. Try 4 weeks free at Depodium.com.
Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
9:41 to go in the second. We are midway through this game, and the score tied at 2. Leafs now have a minor shot advantage. 16-15 here, out shooting the Habs in the second period.
Well, we talked about it, Victor, coming back in after the break, that we thought that the Leafs were going to have a pushback, and we've seen some quality chances. Sam Montembeault up to the task, most recently on the shot by John Tavares. Tavares, a dangerous customer to be leaving alone on that left flank as he comes down trying to go far right side with it.
Face-off blocker sign on Stolarz. Suzuki in to take it for Montreal, but Toronto win it away. And they will flip it out to center. Fourth line out there for the Leafs. Yarncroke with Walk and Steven Lorentz. As they go deep into hot territory, the Canadiens fly it back out to center. Slavkovsky past McCabe, but the puck trickles right to Chris Tanev, and he'll settle it down for Toronto. Watt, center, got the pass, and then the stick snap right at the blade. As that just became a ringette pretty quick. Here's Jake McCabe back with Chris Tanev in the Leaf zone. Up it goes right side. Max Domi turning away from pressure. He lost his stick. Habs to center ice. Suzuki plays it in. Demidov in on the forecheck. Taken away by Dakota Joshua. Tied up with Newhook. And Oliver Kapanen throws it in behind the Toronto net. Stolarz over to Ekman Larsson. Around it goes. Max Domi forwards the pass to center ice. Nick Robertson skates it over the Montreal blue line. Dakota Joshua far side. Tied up with Dobson. Puck trickles over to Newhook. Over to Demidov. Gently ahead for Oliver Kapanen. And he's in behind the Toronto net with Morgan Riley. Far side now, fresh off the bench. Jake Evans with Josh Anderson. Back up high. Matheson tries a wrister. That's off the mark. And Dakota Joshua throws it back behind the net for Toronto.
There was all kinds of traffic net front with Anderson in front of Stolarz.
Back behind the net for Montembeault. He'll leave it for Lane Hudson. Speeding ahead through center. Hudson plays it in off the boards. Stolarz stops it behind the net. Toronto working ahead. Bouncing puck to center is taken away by Montreal. Now Bobby McMahon recovers for the Leafs. Tavares through center down the right side. Here goes Nylander. Shoved up along the boards by Lane Hudson. Nylander breaks free, carries into the slot. Nylander down the right side, trying to curl that in front. It goes through to the far side for Oliver Ekman Larsson. Up top, leaves it for Nylander. Long shot, redirected into the corner. Tavares is there for it. Up high, Ekman Larsson with a wrister. That's caught and frozen by Montembeault with 6:54 left in the second period.
Well, that puck gets fed in, and it's Nylander who makes the it's Montembeault who makes the save. But I couldn't get my eyes off Hudson and Nylander that entire shift. Nylander, no slouch in his skates, really strong edges, and it takes everything for Hudson to keep up with him. Ordinarily, it's Hudson who's making people miss, but there's an example of why Nylander is such a special player.
Face off to the glove hand side of Sam Montembeault. And loose puck right off the draw, goes right in on Montembeault. He's able to fight that off. That was Nyes on the doorstep. Here's Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Skips one wide. Dobson picks it up. Backhand off the glass. Out to center. Kirby Docksline is out there. With Doc, Gallagher, and Bolduc. As the Leafs work it around to the near side. It's picked up by Zach Bolduc. Out to center for Kirby Doc. Delayed penalty upcoming for Toronto. Doc tries a wrister. Loose in front for Bolduc. Couldn't get the rebound. As this is picked up by Toronto. Whistle sounds, and the Canadiens are going to the power play for the second time tonight.
Zach Bolduc almost had goal number 2 on a very similar play. Kirby Doc gets all kinds of steam on that shot. Bolduc comes in hunting for that rebound.
Looks like Matthew Nyes is going to go for Toronto. So Montreal to the power play. Brought to you by Florida Canada, official partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Nyes got in the way of Mike Matheson down in the Canadiens' corner. Nyes does not like the call at all. But that hand comes loose. Looks like it gets onto Mike Matheson's hip. Just kind of pulls him out of his pivot. And that's enough to send him off to the box.
Slavkovsky, Suzuki, Bolduc, Caulfield, and Hudson all on the ice as the Canadiens are 0 for 1 tonight. No shots on the power play. Leafs win the D-zone face-off. Cannot get it out. Caulfield down the wing. Back up top for Lane Hudson. Near side, Caulfield. From the hash marks. Up top for Lane Hudson. Caulfield near side dot. In front, Suzuki tried to curl that home. He's smothered on the goal mouth, and Toronto bank it out to center. Hudson wrists it in. Puck carries around. Suzuki stops at far wing. Back to Lane Hudson. Walks across the line. Near side, Caulfield. Leaves it for Suzuki. Suzuki up top for Hudson. Far side, Slavkovsky. Back up high, Lane Hudson. Tries a wrister. That got through. Stopped in front by Stolars. And the rebound goes to the corner.
Caulfield had a couple of whacks at it. Just couldn't find a way home.
Now Suzuki. Up top for Hudson. Suzuki again. Caulfield, side of the net. Trying to go up top. That's stopped by Stolars. Habs keep it in. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Hudson up high. Far side, Slavkovsky.
Leafs killers are tired.
Slavkovsky still with it in the slot. Off to Hudson. Near side, Suzuki. Back over to Hudson. Slavkovsky, low shot, rips that wide. Stays in though. Lane Hudson at the line. Hudson bobbled it and gives it away to Nicolas Roy, who clears it down the ice for Toronto.
Montreal was able to recover a couple of plays, keep it active, and that's a unforced error by Hudson as he turns it over.
That's going to do it for the half power play. As here goes Newhook down the wing. 5-on-5 again. Canadiens are 0 for 2. They got 2 shots, though, on that last man advantage. 4:12 to go in the second period. Still tied at 2. Canadiens in their own zone. Noah Dobson with it. Connects with Alex Newhook at center. In over the line. Quickly swatted away by Morgan Riley. And here goes Nylander down the right side. Defended by Mike Matheson. As it goes into the corner, Tavares and Matheson battle. Picked up by Montreal and guided out through center by Demidov. No icing. Oliver Ekman-Larsson tried to pass it back to Brandon Carlo. He's got it. As the Leafs start the breakout. Up to center, turned over. And flipped right back in by Laine. Round to the near side it goes. Canadiens with it. Laine battles with Matthew Nyes. Out it comes to center. Here goes Domi. One-on-one with Carrier. Steps up on the line. And a great defensive play by Carrier. Smothers that as here goes Evans the other way. Evans with his shot right off the glass. And around it goes to the line where Laine is upended by Matthews, and the puck goes to center for Domi. He'll shoot it in. Now back to center, Benoit. Leafs have control. 2:46 to go in the second period. 2-2 the score. Toronto smack it in. Here goes Kelly Arnkrok. Hands off to Morgan Riley. Long shot goes wide. Laine up the near side of the Montreal zone. Goes back to Carrier. And he'll play it off the glass and out through center. Bouncing around in the Toronto zone. Riley gets it over to Nikola Watt, center, and he's knocked down on a hit by Evans. Played in deep to the Montreal zone. Cooley under pressure of the forecheck. Take it away. Loose puck in front. And a try from Nylander is blocked before it got through. Tanev, right side point for Toronto. Far side wing now. Nylander up top for Bobby McMahon. Low shot deflected wide. Now the Leafs with all the pressure here is McMahon far side. Up high for Jake McCabe. Good stick. Able to poke that out to center. Zach Bolduc.
That's Bolduc heading back to the bench.
Now right back in goes John Tavares, and that might have hit the goalpost off the shot. As Kirby Dach has a bouncing puck, he'll settle it down and flip it to center.
Well, Tavares has had two good looks, one to the far right and one to the short side this period. Just can't find a way past Montembeault.
Puck goes out to center. Caulfield for Montreal shoots it in off the boards. And loose in front. Slavkovsky was there, but so was Matias Michelli. He got a stick on it. It was a golden opportunity there for Slavkovsky that fell right into his lap. Now from the line, Matheson shot. That deflected off a body. It's covered by Stolarz. And Slavkovsky and Oliver Ekman-Larsson getting into it here in the far corner.
Ekman-Larsson did not like that at all. The minute that the referee blew the whistle, you could see Larsson turn around with a chop, and it was Slavkovsky who accelerated him into Stolarz. The veteran having none of it.
We'll take one more break here. Just under a minute to go in the second period. Game tied at 2 on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Do you know why the ice in hockey is white? Because black ice would be way too dangerous? No, it's because no one would ever see the puck. Yeah, good point.
Point S, proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Jeez, what's he doing out there? Like how he's skating. It's like he's still got his summer tires on. Yeah, good point.
Point S, until December 20th, save up to $100 on a prepaid card when you buy 4 eligible Toyo tires. Details at points.ca.
Delmar, logistics made simple, transforming intricate logistics challenges into effortless experiences for clients across the globe. Visit delmarcargo.com to connect with a Delmar expert today. Delmar, logistics made simple.
You don't want to miss the next Molson and Montreal Canadiens viewing party on Saturday, October 25th at Resto Bar La Maisonnée in Montreal. Come cheer on the Canadiens with fellow fans. Plenty of prizes, including game tickets, jerseys, alumni appearances, entertainment, and Molson specials. Join the fun at a destination Canadiens bar near you for all Molson Zone viewing parties throughout the season. For full locations and dates, visit zonemolson.ca. Must be legal drinking age.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to La Cage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At La Cage, everyone's a fan.
The home of your Montreal Canadiens. TSN 690.
Chances of plenty here in the second period on both sides. John Tavares, though, just prior to the break, JP, indeed hit the goalpost on his shot.
Well, he had mentioned how he had looked to the far side, but just spotted something on the short side with Sam Montembeault playing a little bit deep in his net. Quality release, 222 goals as a Leaf, closing in on 500, as we mentioned earlier. And he almost had goal number 223 as a Leaf.
So we got 57.4 seconds to go here in the second period. Ozone face-off for Montreal as Suzuki's line is on the ice. Matthews, Nyes, Domi with Tanev and McCabe for Toronto. Caulfield's going to have to come in and take this face-off. And Austin Matthews wins it back for Toronto. Out to center. Caulfield with it. Back to Matheson. Snaps it down ice. Slavkovsky down the wing. The fans on the pass for Caulfield. Bouncing around in front. Still on Stolar. Suzuki tried to backhand that back up the middle. It goes over to Matheson. Bouncing puck. Played around the boards. Domi gets it out to center as Matheson retrieves it in his own end. Now down the left side, Nick Suzuki into Toronto territory. Held up along the boards. Caulfield gets it loose. Into the slot. Caulfield passes off. Dobson down the wing. In behind the net, tried to center. It's picked off by Matthew Nyes and rolled to the neutral zone.
Suzuki was calling for that puck in the half wall. I think Dobson thought he didn't have as much time as he did.
Well, there goes the buzzer, and that's it for 2 periods of play in Toronto.
Well, Zach Bolduc gets his first as a Montreal Canadian. Calle Yarncroke comes back with one after that to tie the game at 2. Still a little bit scrambly out there. 1 period left to go, Victor.
I think you said it right there, JP. There's nothing left for me to say other than we'll see you again here in a moment for the second intermission show on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
From the rink to the radio, Habs Lunch. Get all the information, highlights, and analysis with Campbell versus Gallo daily. No subscription fees. Just pure Habs talk the way you like it. Habs Lunch. Weekdays noon to 1.
Center's out in front. Oh, what a big stop from Sam Montembeault. He takes one away.
Also available on the free iHeartRadio app as a podcast.
The NCAA Northern Classic is back from November 20th to 30th at Place Bell in Laval. 5 NCAA basketball teams will battle over 3 days to crown the first ever Northern Classic champion. Don't miss some of the most competitive action in all of basketball. Tickets on sale now at eventco.ca. Are you looking for an insurance broker, passionate and professional? With 65 years of experience, SO Insurance has proven to be totally dedicated to serving its clients. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, their brokers have one priority: to find you the best offer available to insure your home, car, and all other types of motorized vehicles. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to La Cage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At La Cage, everyone's a fan.
Whether it's gas, electric, or hybrid, Ford vehicles are always powered by pride. And just like the great teams that inspire us, we always strive for the highest honors. Our lineup is strong, agile, and built to perform. We give it our all to help you and your crew achieve great feats, experience great thrills, and confidently drive to the next great adventure. Your local Ford dealers, proud partners of the Montreal Canadiens. Ready, set, Ford.
Here, we like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee. Made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
For 60 years, Delmar has delivered logistics excellence. Strikes, delays, tariffs, challenge accepted. With global reach, smart tech, and trusted partners, Delmar is ready to ensure your cargo keeps on moving.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
Canadiens Hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Hudson will steer it off the boards. where Jack Guy plays it out to center ice. Bouncing far side, Gallagher with a shot, stopped by Stolarz, rebound, they score! Zach Bolduc puts it in for Montreal. Off the shot from Gallagher, Montreal have taken their first lead of the night, 2-1.
Welcome back to TSN 690. It's Montreal Canadiens hockey. It is 2-2 between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens after 2 periods of play. I'm your game host, Mitch Gallo. The second period scoring summary saw Zach Bolduc score at 1:30 of the second period from Brendan Gallagher and Kirby Dach. And at 5:40, Kalle Järnkrok from Morgan Rielly and Steven Lorentz. It is time for the second intermission roundtable. It's Campbell versus Gallo, and we welcome in John Still from Melnick in the afternoon. And every Thursday on TSN 690 as part of Campbell versus Gallo, Meeker Guerrier of RDS. Meeker, John, welcome. Guys, let's start with that goal from Zach Bolduc. Not only does Bolduc score in his first game with the Canadiens, but he had, I thought, a pretty eventful second period. I thought he was good on the whole. Meeker, what do you think Bolduc might mean for this Montreal Canadiens team this season?
Well, he might be one of the rare power forwards with the Montreal Canadiens, meaning that he can play a tough game, but he can also score goals. Last year, remember, he scored 19 goals. If he scores 20 this year, it's going to be a great year for the Habs, meaning that he'll be able to contribute offensively and also defensively. I loved what I see from him on that third line. He can play on the first power play as well. He can be very useful to the Montreal Canadiens, so I loved his game. And eventually in the playoffs, if they make it, he'll be an important player as well.
I just like the way that he went to the net there. You know, that I think that's the thought process of playing a guy like Brendan Gallagher with Kirby Dach and Zach Bolduc, is it's very, very clear what he wants those guys to do. Zach Bolduc can play that game. I've been saying it kind of all summer, is that just the profile seems a lot like TJ Oshie when he's going to be at his peak. TJ Oshie only scored 30 goals in this league one time, which is kind of shocking to think about that when you think of a guy who's a goal scorer like TJ Oshie, but he can do it all. He hits. You saw that with Brandon Carlo. He shoots. You saw that with the inside of the knee of Brandon Carlo. He just seems like a guy who's going to be very, very eventful for the Canadiens this year, and I'm curious to see how much further he could potentially move up the lineup.
And on top of that, he's responsible defensively, and we all know that Martin Saint-Louis loves that from his players.
I like the goal, like one Bolduc, you see those quick hands, able to finish that. But Mitch, it's funny, we were talking the first intermission, and I wanted speed and transition. That puck was at the Canadiens' far corner, pass, tip, crossed the blue line, shot, rebound, goal. They went 180 feet, like in 6 seconds with transition play, with what we're watching for the first 2 periods. I like this style that the Habs have instilled, at least in game 1 in the first 2 periods.
You know, and I think playing defensively has been such a big part of tonight's game. Some great defensive play by Lane Hudson. And maybe most encouraging, the Leafs goals come from Järnkrok, who basically never scores, and Bobby McMahon. I think the Leafs' best player has been Morgan Rielly, a defenseman. And guys, up until late in that second period, the line of Austin Matthews, Matthew Nyes, and Matthias Maselli didn't register a single shot on goal at 5-on-5. That line has been invisible. They end up getting the shot off the lost face-off when Matthews kind of pushed it ahead. But the Canadiens, I don't know what you guys have seen, but the Canadiens have done a really good job of neutralizing the Leafs' top players.
Can we talk about Noah Dobson? Because a lot of people have been complaining and have been saying, oh, he's a veteran. He's the highest pay on the Montreal Canadiens payroll. How come he's not playing a better game? Hey, just give him a second. He just got with the team. It's the first regular season game, and already we're seeing the difference. That little play, I remember during that second period, he did a little play on the board on the defensive side, and a lot of players would have just shot the puck on the board and hope for the best, but he did a quick play, just a little hesitation. He was able to bring the puck out the zone. I love that about him. He's very confident, and offensively, we all also know what he can do offensively. So that 9.5 is not only to score goals and to eventually go back to that 70-point season, but also defensively, and there's a reason why he's paired on that first pair with Mike Matheson. You have 2 veteran players, although he's a very young veteran at 24 years old, but I loved his game. Very simple game, very efficient.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Meeker. And the other thing that I love about it is that, and I look forward to seeing the line splits after the game,
it seems like he and Matheson have got something going between one another. That's really the thing that I was looking to potentially be something that, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Two guys playing that kind of game. So far in that first period, in the first two periods, they look like they just know where each other are going to be on the ice, and they've been really good at cutting down space against the Leafs.
And you're talking about defensively and the way that they're playing off each other. Offensively, Dobson and Matheson inside that blue line, neither of them stand still. They'll loop down low. The other one comes up to the top. They allow their forwards to change. They did that in the first half. Dobson and Matheson, that pairing has been the best pairing for the Habs. And I'm with you. I like Hudson defensively. He's getting those chances offensively. But Dobson and Matheson, to me, has been a story of the game so far.
And you know what that does? It forces the offensive line on the other side to be responsible defensively. And that takes off a little bit of our offense because they have to be aware where Dobson and Matheson are on the ice when they are in the O zone, and that forces the other team to be very responsible defensively. So to me, it's not only they can shut down that first line, but on top of that, they put them on their toes and their heels at the time.
Wrapping up the second intermission roundtable, guys, quickly, it's 2-2 after 2 periods of play. What do you think we're going to see in the third, Meeker?
Oh, wow. I think we're going to see maybe a harder fought game, maybe more checks, and I'm seeing that game going to overtime probably.
Give me a Kirby Doc GWG.
Kirby Doc GWG.
I'd like to see more emotion. Are you there's just not enough emotion.
No.
From either side.
I think everybody in Toronto's watching the ball game.
Yeah. But I think the Habs are happy that it's an emotionless game. Not that they can't handle it, but the way that it's going, you keep Toronto out of it. But you said Doc G-Dub, I'll drop a, you know what? You guys like Dobson Matheson? Mikey Matheson.
There we go.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. I'll say game winner goes to Patrick Laine.
Not Austin Matthews?
Wow, Patrick Laine. Just because then everybody is going to be confused as what to think tomorrow.
I would be stunned by that.
Yeah, but he's not
3-on-3 overtime too, John. Meeker's going to be right with overtime, and Laine's going to get the winner.
But he's not playing a bad game, by the way. It's not a great game, but it's not bad either.
We'll see how that chemistry on that line continues to develop. Meeker Guerrier, thank you. Meeker's with us tomorrow on Campbell versus Gallo. John Still back with Melnick in the afternoon at 2. And I'll be back with your out-of-town scoreboard coming up next. In Toronto, it is 2-2 between the Habs and the Leafs.
On October 28th, score health points and meet with the Montreal Canadiens alumni at the Bell Center. From 9 a.m. until 6 p.m., take part in a free vaccination day organized by the Quebec Lung Association. Influenza, pneumonia, COVID-19, RSV, shingles. Protect yourself. Take care of your health and enjoy a unique moment with the Montreal Canadiens alumni on October 28th at Espace 1909 in the Bell Center.
Eligibility criteria, details, and registration at pumonquebec.ca.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Be there at the Bell Center on April 17th and Place Bell on April 18th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to La Cage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At La Cage, everyone's a fan.
You don't want to miss the next Molson and Montreal Canadiens viewing party on Saturday, October 25th at Resto Bar La Maisonnée in Montreal. Come cheer on the Canadiens with fellow fans. Plenty of prizes, including game tickets, jerseys, alumni appearances, entertainment, and Molson specials. Join the fun at a Destination Canadiens bar near you for all Molson Zone viewing parties throughout the season. For full locations and dates, visit zonemolson.ca. Must be legal drinking age.
Are you looking for a damage insurance broker that specializes in commercial insurance? There is only one name, SOR Insurance. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, SOR Insurance brokers are the perfect advisors for you. With more than 65 years experience, SOR Insurance is proud of its team of brokers who stand out for their ability to select the best products for your business. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back to Montreal Canadiens hockey here on TSN 690. It is 2-2 between the Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens. Oliver Kapanen and Zachary Bolduc, the goal scorers for Montreal. But let's get you caught up with the out-of-town scoreboard. Only one other NHL game currently in action. It's the Boston Bruins who lead the Washington Capitals by a score of 1-0. 12:07 of the second period. First goal of the season for Boston goes to David Pastrnak. Nikita Zadorov and Morgan Geekie with the assists. Of course, Major League Baseball, right now you have Game 4, Blue Jays and Yankees. Game is in the top of the 7th inning. The Blue Jays lead by a score of 2-1. Earlier today, the Chicago Cubs beat the Milwaukee Brewers 4-3 to extend that series, as the Brewers were trying to close it out. And the Tigers beat the Mariners earlier today, and that forces a deciding game number 5. Coming up next, the third period between Montreal and Toronto. Scores all tied up at 2. Victor Finley and JP O'Connor with the call.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Montreal Canadiens is expressly prohibited.
Why do families love 5G Plus? It's perfect for
When you get to the party, send your dad and I a text. I know.
and for
Grandma, tilt your camera down. I can only see your forehead.
and even for
Hey, we said no phones while camping?
But I'm looking up how to build a tent.
Right. Thanks, buddy.
Switch to Canada's fastest 5G Plus network. It's perfect for families. With Bell, the more phone lines you get, the more you save. Save up to $30 a month on additional lines with an eligible plan. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca for details. Bell, the perfect family plan, just got better.
Whether it's gas, electric, or hybrid, Ford vehicles are always powered by pride. And just like the great teams that inspire us, we always strive for the highest honors. Our lineup is strong, agile, and built to perform. We give it our all to help you and your crew achieve great feats, experience great thrills, and competently drive to the next great adventure. Your local Ford dealers, proud partners of the Montreal Canadiens. Ready, set, Ford.
IGA, we love the Habs. IGA, we got food to grab. IGA, we've got nachos for all your hockey heroes. When you're on the couch and they're on the ice, we got all the food that's nice. We got your T-bone steak with spice and pizza for game night. No matter the season, IGA is proud to be the official grocer of the Montreal Canadiens. From our 300 merchants and co-ops to our employees, each and every one of us has epic Habs love.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to LeCage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At LeCage, everyone's a fan.
This is Montreal Canadiens hockey on your home of the Habs, TSN 690.
Welcome back to Habs Hockey on TSN 690. Victor Finley with JP O'Connor in our TSN 690 broadcast booth. All right. That'll get us in the mood here for the start of the third period between the Montreal Canadiens and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I think this is just smooth right now for you, Victor. I'm waiting for you to break. We've heard finish out of you. I want to hear some R&B out of you right now.
Late night DJ. Welcome to Habs Hockey. TSN 690.
There it is. That's it. Coming at you.
All right, we're looking for some late night heroics here for the Montreal Canadiens tonight. It's tied at 2 as we get set for the final frame of regulation. Early season hockey, JP, it kind of gives a chance for anybody to step up and take the game by the horns, take the season by the horns a little bit. And it definitely feels like an early season game tonight in the sense that both teams have showed us some sloppy hockey.
Yeah, we've seen pucks bouncing around quite a bit. And the nice thing, I think, if you're the Montreal Canadiens, is that you've seen Bolduc bag his first, Kapanen get his first NHL goal. It sets the stage for the big line to come up. Suzuki and Caulfield and Slavkovsky have been responsible for 8 of the Canadiens' 22 shots already this evening. Now's the time for them to step up, see if they can get there first and get the Canadiens in a position to win their first road game of the year.
All right, here we go for the third period. Face-off at center ice. Suzuki's line starts off versus Austin Matthews. With Matthias Michelli and Matthew Nye.
It's been a little sleepy for Matthews, I think.
No shots tonight. As the Leafs fired it from center ice to get us going in the third. Suzuki off the boards, up the center. Slavkovsky's got a game-high 5 shots as we get an early whistle here at center ice, 14 seconds in. So Slavkovsky is in the neighborhood of his career high, which is 7 shots, and a game last year against the Capitals.
He had a golden opportunity in the second period as well. Gets the puck on the left wall, walks it down. I don't know what the Leafs are doing. He managed to get in there. It looked like he was going to get a great shot off on net and just fanned on it flat out.
Loose puck at center. Here goes Nick Suzuki. Drops it off. Caulfield, far side. Went to the forehand. Slick little move, but Stolarz made the save. And now Matthews out to center. Then off the boards. Dobson scoops it up. Far side, Suzuki. Through for Slavkovsky. Now here goes Caulfield. One-on-one with Riley. Caulfield with a wrister. Riley wins that battle. He blocked it. And Brandon Carlo goes off the boards out to center. Here goes Bobby McMahon now. He'll fire a shot just wide. As McMahon cycles it back in behind the Canadiens' net. Back to the line. Nylander with it. Tried to fling it to the net. That's broken up. Demidov gets it over to Kapanen. And he'll drag it out through center. Kapanen, far side. Trying to slide it back toward the net. It goes in behind for Newhook. Now Kapanen, good hit on Riley on the forecheck. But Bobby McMahon will take the puck to center and flip it down the ice. 90 seconds into the third period. This is going to be icing against Toronto.
Yeah, Leafs fans are not going to like this. It's actually a real good play with McMahon as he reads what Demidov is going to do. Demidov collects the puck along the wall and he throws it on his backhand up to the point, and McMahon was ready for it the whole way. Gets the puck through the neutral zone. Just puts a little bit too much on it, unfortunately. So this is going to come back into the Leafs zone. Leafs aren't going to be able to get a change.
Scrum off the face-off, and the puck goes right between the two Montreal defenders. Carrier and Jack-Eye on the ice.
We sprint back to the bench for new bodies.
Kirby Dach on the ice with Gallagher and Bolduc for Montreal. Stretch pass through center. That's going to be an icing against the Habs.
Well, we've seen a couple plays this evening that looked like they might have been icing calls. Didn't get them. See, Kirby Dach knew instantly there that was going to be coming back into the Canadian zone.
Shots 25-19 Montreal.
Does look like that assist is going to hold for Kirby Dach.
Yeah, that'll be a welcome start to the year for him.
A bit of an unusual play and great finish from Bolduc, but comes off Dach's stick. Wasn't too sure if that was maybe going to attribute that one just straight to Gallagher.
Off the face-off, Gallagher blocks a shot. It goes out to center. Kirby Dach had 10 goals, 12 assists in 57 games last year. This is his first game since another ACL tear suffered on February 22nd of last season. As here goes Bolduc down the near side. And Leaf territory. That's sent back out to center, hammered in by Dobson. Let's go Blue Jays. Chance at Scotiabank Arena. 4-1 Toronto now.
Listen, they've had the game on the screen here.
2-2 between the Habs and the Leafs as Montreal at center. Patrick Laine in over the blue line. Far side, Jake Evans racing after it. Later around to the near side, Dobson pinching in. Back on the left side now. Laine tries to throw it through to the net. That's blocked. At center. That's picked up by Yarncroke, and he'll play it in as he turns around to change. Noah Dobson from behind the net. Connects with Caulfield. Out through center ice. There goes Caulfield. Handing off. Slavkovsky. Suzuki with a wrister. That's blocked by Matthews. And that stung him pretty good. He's doubled over, going to the bench.
Bent over to the hips, heading back. They get the door open. Bobby Hastings, the Leafs trainer, opens up the door for him.
Montreal into the zone. Caulfield passes off. Slavkovsky in front for Lane Hudson. Couldn't handle the pass. That's fired all the way back down the ice. 16-13 to go in the third. Tie game, 2-2. from behind his own net. Off to Hudson. Far side. Habs try and get it through center with speed. They're held up now in front of the penalty box. Dakota Joshua battles with Kapanen. Habs win the puck. Here goes Oliver Kapanen. Skating into the Toronto zone. Kapanen down the right wing. Hands off. Newhook. Back up high for Carrier. Far side. Lane Hudson. Off the boards. Chased by Tanev. Hudson up high. Breaks Tanev's ankles again. Second time tonight. Into the slot. Tanev recovers. Picks it up. And gets it out to center ice. Now Jake McCabe has that stolen away by Demidov, but Domi back to recover. Delayed penalty upcoming.
It's going to be a hook on Demidov.
Tanev in his own zone. Stolarz abandons the net. 6-on-5 for Toronto. Willie Nylander sets up behind his own net.
With Demidov back to the bench, he's going to be coming back out.
Nylander passes off. Tavares out through center. Far side, touched by Matheson, and Toronto's going to get their second power play chance of the night.
Well, it's going to be a tough one for Demidov as he takes it in the offensive zone. Canadians had a pretty good sequence. Puck control in the Leafs defensive zone. Demidov gets his hands in. It's going to be an easy call.
First power play was not very good at all for Toronto. In fact, it led to Montreal's first goal of the year, shorthanded by Oliver Kapanen. Just the third time in franchise history the Habs have opened up their goal scoring for the season shorthanded. Last guy to do that was Mark Recchi back in '95 for the Canadiens. How about another shorthanded goal tonight?
Well, I think if you look at Kapanen, I think he'd be happy to take another one.
Evans and Anderson start the PK for Montreal as the Leafs take it to the far corner. Puck goes loose for Jake Evans. He'll backhand it out through center ice. And an early clear for Montreal. Riley to center, drops it back. And Nylander through the neutral zone. Dumps it in. Habs behind the net. Matheson round the boards and out down the ice it goes. As Stolarz will leave it for Morgan Riley.
That's just too easy for the Canadians. Careless handling of the puck again by the Leafs.
Here goes Austin Matthews back on the ice after that block. In over the line with Matthew Nyes behind the Canadiens' net. Far side. Habs try to clear it. Can't. It's held in by Nylander. Far side. Tavares drops it for Nylander. Down low. Matthews. Back over to Nylander. 50 seconds to go in the 5-on-4. Nylander. Up high for Morgan Riley. Down the far side. Behind the net. Matthews. Tried to center. Tavares is there, but can't settle the puck down. Riley's got it. Now at the line. Here's Austin Matthews. Over to Riley. Still at the line. Riley. Down the near side. Drops it to Nylander. Far side. Matthews one-timer slams it wide. 14 seconds to go on the 5-on-4. Habs try to clear it. Nylander at the line. Pushed out to center. Pressured by Newhook. And Nylander turns around into his own zone. Power play is over. Leafs are 0 for 2. No shots recorded on that last power play. 12:47 to go in the third. We are still tied at 2 as the Habs lob it through center ice into the Toronto zone. It's picked up by Simon Benoit. Pass back for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. They'll play it back over to the Laval, Quebec native, Benoit. And into the Montreal zone it goes. Picked up by Jack Guy. Forwards it down the ice. Deflected by Benoit. It stays in off the glass. Now Dakota Joshua shoots it in. Around it goes for Lane Hudson into the corner. Swept ahead. Caulfield for Suzuki. Out through center. Slavkovsky. He'll send that into the Leaf zone. Play to the far side. Suzuki's there. Up high. Here is Matheson with a shot. Redirected wide. Back behind the net. Comes over to the near side. Yarncroc along the boards with Nicolas Waugh. It's taken away by Montreal. Matheson far side. Guides that round the boards. Caulfield in there with Slavkovsky. Back to the line. Dobson cranks a shot that's blocked away by Stolars. Back up high. Matheson, another shot in front for Slavkovsky. Backhanded it wide. And Toronto pick it up as Calle Yarbrough needs to get it out of the zone, and he'll hoist it down the ice. Here goes Steven Lorentz driving the net now. Never got a shot away as he's dumped into the end boards.
I got the angle on Mike Matheson. Matheson would have had to take a penalty.
Habs back the other way. Suzuki right back at it. Centers. Here's Lane Hudson. Works it. Takes a shot. That's directed wide of the net.
Broken stick by Matheson.
Now back out to center. Here goes Nyes. Back the other way on a breakaway. Nyes can't beat Sam Montembeault. As back in front, Riley scores. Morgan Riley cashes in front of the Montreal net. Lane Hudson had no stick for Montreal and couldn't do anything to stop him as the Leafs retake the lead 3-2.
What a strange play for the Canadiens already with the broken stick. Mike Matheson at the blue line. He can't do anything about it. As Lane Hudson comes over to try to close the lane down, he gets his stick tangled up with Mike Matheson's skates, loses it, and that sends Nyes in on the breakaway. Neither Matheson nor Hudson have sticks on the way back. That puck gets out to Riley. Makes no mistake, right under the bar over Sam Montembeault's glove. Unfortunate play, but the Leafs able to capitalize on the mistakes.
Yeah, not ideal when your two defensemen don't have sticks. Neither of them. And not much Matheson or Lane Hudson could do to stop that. First of the year for Riley, who had 7 a year ago. 9:02 in the third period. The Leafs take a 3-2 lead. Nyes and Michelli draw the assists as the Habs back to work in the O-zone. Far side, Gooley tries to swing it behind the net. Back over to the near side. Lane Hudson along the boards with Benoit. Loose at the side of the net. Duke is held up by Matthews. It goes back to the point. Lane Hudson trying to shake off Matthew Nyes. Nyes strips the puck and plays it all the way down the ice. And this will be whistled down for icing with 10:05 to go in the third.
Well, Canadian shots well ahead, 27-21. Canadians got to be wondering what they've got to do to catch a break. Haven't seen a play like that in some time, Victor, with both defensemen lose their stick within a couple of seconds of one another. One gets broken in Mike Matheson, the other one with Lane Hudson losing it, getting it tangled up in Matheson's feet. Still lots of time to go here for the Canadians to find a way back in.
It's been a much different story than last year's game, where the Habs were holding on for dear life in the third period. And thanks to Sam Montembeault, had enough in the tank to win that game 1-0. Habs off the O-zone faceoff. Shot does not get through from Noah Dobson, and it goes back out to the Montreal zone. Now played in from center. Tana back for it for Toronto. Around the boards for Bobby McMahon. Backhander cross ice, broken up by Dobson. And he'll send it ahead for Oliver Kapanen. Far wing, Kapanen to the line, gets it off to Mike Matheson. Passes over, Demidov fires that just wide of the net. And the Leafs up to center ice with John Tavares. Down the left side, Tavares skates in behind the net. Out to the far wing. Tavares stays with it, drops it off. Riley off the boards. Over to Carlo, left side. Cranks the shot. That's stopped by Montembeault, and he'll just poke it into the corner.
The Canadians got real lucky on that as Newhook got caught in rotation.
Carlo back into his own end. Morgan Riley now up to center ice. He'll play it in. And this is given away. In front, Robertson tried to stuff it home on the backhand. Off an ugly turnover from the Habs. Sam Montembeault bails him out to keep it a 1-goal game.
Oh, just a beautiful reaction save. Sam Montembeault gets the left leg out.
Jack-Eye shoots this in as the Leafs will take their time here on their own end of the ice. Morgan Riley off to Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He'll fire it in from center. Deep in the Montreal zone, Carrier sweeps it around. That's right off of Caulfield. Back down low, Jack-Eye with it. Over Jack-Eye. Skips it to center. Slavkovsky, far side. Caulfield chops it into the Toronto zone. Leafs pick it up. And out to the neutral zone they go with Nicolas. Right up the middle. Waugh dishes off. Here's Yardcrook with his shot. That's pushed just wide of the net. Now Jake McCabe, cross ice. 10 out. Back around it goes behind the net. Nicolas controls for Toronto. 7:38 to go in the third. 3-2 Leafs. Matthews behind the net. Lost the handle. And the Canadiens lift it up and out through center. There's Jake McCabe stretching to the neutral zone.
Leafs clearly with a little more jump in the last few moments.
Kirby Dach back the other way. He's stick checked by Michelli. And Matthew Nyes plays it in for Toronto. Montembeault out for Dobson. Takes a hit off the forecheck from Nyes. And the Canadiens flip it to center. That's given away to Matthews. Played back in as Dobson goes after it. Matheson ahead for Gallagher. Now Kirby Dach far side. Stopped at center. Bounced over the line. Benoit back the other way. Gives it right to Matheson. Out of Ford along the Leaf line. This is shot around the boards by Kirby Dach. And picked up at the Toronto zone by the Leafs. 6.5 to play in the third. 3-2 Toronto lead. Right to Montembeault. He'll leave it side of the net. Now Arbor Jack-Eye. Off to Carrier. Into the Toronto zone goes Demidov. Lost it. And the Leafs turn it over. Demidov again, near side. To the side of the net. Into the corner it goes. Demidov picks it free. Back to the line. Jack-Eye's shot goes dangerously wide of the net.
That's perfect. Didn't need to put too much pace on it. Just get it on net. See if you can catch a tip.
Demidov cycles around. Newhook with it. Near side. Newhook flings that wide of the net. Kicked around by Tanev. Backhanded off the boards. And cleared out to center by Nick Robertson. 5:40 to go in the game. Here's Carrier all by himself. Habs are changing. Carrier plays it around the boards. It goes right to Carlo. They'll get it over to Morgan Riley. Up to Nylander. Willie Nylander drops it back. Leafs in no rush. As this is deflected in from center ice to the Montreal zone. Goulet off to Hudson.
This is where the pace for the Canadiens has to pick up. If they don't pick it up, they can maybe draw a penalty.
Here goes Nicolas in from center, right up the middle. Good stick check by Line A. And the Habs might have a 3-on-2 the other way, but Waugh gets back into the play, and the Leafs break it up. Nicolas back to center for Steven Lorentz. End of his shift. He'll play it in. 4:49 to go in the third. 3-2 Leafs. Quite some time here between whistles as Caulfield starts towards center. Off to Slavkovsky. He'll shoot that in. Stolar's out to play it. Kind of muffed it behind the net. Matthews is there. Now Dobson in on the forecheck. Leafs pick it loose, and it's directed to center by Nyes. Nyes in front of the Leaf bench. Steers it back for McCabe. Toronto in their own end.
Well, you mentioned it, Victor. Leafs in no rush, trying to slow everything down now.
Jake McCabe shoots it in. Matheson plays it up the far side. Picked up by Brennan Gallagher. Go back across with it with a pass. And this is going to be knocked down, I believe, by a high stick. And that's going to send us to break here. 3:59. We are into the final moments of the third period. It's Morgan Riley with the go-ahead goal for Toronto on Habs Hockey on TSN 690.
Do you know why the ice in hockey is white?
Because black ice would be way too dangerous?
No, it's because no one would ever see the puck.
Yeah, good point.
Point S, proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Jeez, what's he doing out there?
Like I was skating.
It's like he still got his summer tires on. Yeah, good point.
Point S. Until December 20th, save up to $100 on a prepaid card when you buy 4 eligible Toyo tires. Details at points.ca.
Here, we like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee. Made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
Why do families love 5G Plus? It's perfect for
When you get to the party, send your dad and I a text. I know.
and for
Grandma, tilt your camera down. I can only see your forehead.
and even for
Hey, we said no phones while camping.
But I'm looking up how to build a tent.
Right. Thanks, buddy.
Switch to Canada's fastest 5G Plus network. It's perfect for families. With Bell, the more phone lines you get, the more you save. Save up to $30 a month on additional lines with an eligible plan. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca for details. Bell, the perfect family plan, just got better.
Canadiens hockey is presented by SCORE Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SCORE Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Just under 4 minutes to go on period number 3 between Toronto and Montreal. 3-2 the advantage for the Leafs, thanks to Morgan Riley, as this game has really begun to tighten up here, JP, in the third period.
Yeah, it has. You can see both teams trying to be real careful with the puck, but the Leafs are doing what they do best with their skill set, is trying to slow that down, playing a real controlled game, getting pucks into corners and trying to be first on them, trying to recover them so they can get a little bit of zone time. Canadians are going to have to open it up, I believe, maybe start to stretch a few guys if they're going to try and find a way behind Stolarz. I don't think Stolarz has looked terrific tonight. He's had a couple chances. Canadians have been guilty with some pretty significant misses. So there's still plenty of time here. Slavkovsky's had a few solid looks, as we know, with the amount of shots. Had a backhander just 3-4 minutes ago, net front, that just couldn't capitalize on.
Leafs win a center ice face-off, rolling into the Montreal zone. Matheson back for it first. Dobson up the wing for Slavkovsky. Through center, Suzuki far side. Slavkovsky brings it in, tries a shot. That goes high. That might have been stopped by Stolarz off his shoulder and out of play.
Yeah, you see Slavkovsky, the puck kind of following him around there. If that's me out in the ice, I'm taking shots every opportunity I get as he gets it, and that hits the side of the net. Ricochets off in, but you can see Yarncroc just loses the inside track on him. Same for Matthews.
That's 6 shots now for Slavkovsky tonight. Face-off in the Toronto zone. And the Leafs win it. Trying to direct it out. Dobson pinching in, holds the line. The puck floats over to the near side. It's pushed to center by Nyes. Now Riley moves it ahead, looking for Matthews. It's picked off by Domi, and he'll bring it over the Montreal line. Matthew Nyes rips it around the boards. Now with Dobson back up ice, here goes Oliver Kapanen. Pickpocketed nicely by Matthew Nyes. And now Domi down the far side. Tries a shot. That's gloved down by Montembeault, and he'll freeze it.
Well, that's exactly what Toronto are looking for. We've seen a quick line change here. Domi playing in the middle. We've seen Matthews slide over to the right. Michelli was playing on that line earlier. I don't know if that's a little bit of line juggling early on. Comfort lever perhaps just not there with Michelli and Matthews.
I'd say it's probably got something to do with the situation of the game as well, JP.
Well, listen, Michelli's he's got an assist this evening on one of the goals earlier on.
Leafs win the ozone face-off. It's played off the boards. Back to the near side. Gallagher under pressure. Here's Simon Benoit stepping in behind the net. Bobby McMahon tied up with Caden Gooley. McMahon trying to break free. Behind the net, picked off by Jake Evans. McMahon stays with it. Gave Evans some trouble, but the Leafs vacate the zone now as Montreal come up to center. Gooley looking for Anderson. He missed it with a pass. That's going to be an icing with 2:37 to go.
Anderson's got a hole now. When that pass is close enough to him where at the very least he can knock it down. Canadians can't afford to have an icing call at this moment.
Habs down 3-2. 2:37 to go in the third. Matthews in against Jake Evans for the face-off. And Matthews wins it. Jake McCabe plays it into the corner. That's picked up by Montreal. Gallagher out to center. He'll play it in far side. Tanev gets to it first. Played right back out to the neutral zone. Leafs were hollering for too many men on Montreal. That was close.
Yeah, I think they've got a case for that.
Canadiens controlling their own zone. Noah Dobson with it. Passing ahead. Out through center. Nick Suzuki far side. Over the line. Stopped up at the blue line as it goes back to the Montreal zone for Noah Dobson.
I'm going to keep an eye on Montembeault as Dobson collects this puck, starts to move up ice.
Suzuki down the right side. He'll throw it around the boards of the Toronto zone. Empty net. Montembeault to the bench. We are 6-on-5. Line A, the extra attacker is. There's a shot for Dobson. That's caught by Stolars, and he quickly covers up.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a timeout here as Dobson collects that puck along the wall. Ordinarily, you want to hang on to it, and instead takes a quick look up, sees Caulfield, fires at the net looking for a tip.
Montreal skaters are still pretty fresh here, so I think Marty's going to... Oh, no, he's got the whiteboard. Let's see. No timeout, as Montreal will keep this line on the ice. Leafs win the faceoff. Off the glass. And out through center, rolling to the net. Matthews scores! Austin Matthews couldn't have picked a sharper angle to tap that puck home. Right for the side of the net, he won the foot race, and an empty netter makes it 4-2 Toronto.
Austin Matthews hasn't had a shot all evening, scores on his first one, an empty netter. It's just a little chip that comes out as the Maple Leafs control the puck just inside the blue line, throws to space and allows Austin Matthews to skate onto it. No way Patrick Laine is going to win that race against Austin Matthews. Eyes are lighting up, tight angle. Leafs captain ices the game.
That's another goal in the season opener for Austin Matthews, who had 3 of them in one game against the Montreal Canadiens back in 2023. A crazy 6-5 shootout win for Toronto. 4-2. It looks like Martin St. Louis has called the timeout here, JP. He's got the whiteboard.
Still got a minute and 32 seconds left.
It's not insurmountable. We've seen crazier things happen in the NHL. There's a 4-2 lead with 92 seconds to play with here for Toronto.
Yeah, whether you get beat 4-2, whether you get beat 5-2, doesn't really matter. But you might as well see if you can get something done.
Get at least a point out of it if you can. Montreal are going to need some quick strike offense here with a minute and a half to go. Habs have in their own zone. From center, rolled into Leaf territory. McCabe along the end boards, played up the wing, taken away. There's a backhander by Suzuki. Good blocker save made by Stolars. Now Noah Dobson from the line. Far side, line A to the net. Pat save made by Stolars. Now inboards. Puck bouncing around. Line A far side. Up top, here's Lane Hudson. Over to Noah Dobson. Far side, line A. Whiffs on a one-timer. Lane Hudson near side. And Yarncroke able to rush it out to center. Empty net again for Montreal, so this is still 6-on-5. 37 seconds to play. Suzuki out to center ice. And on the right side, drops it. Looking for Caulfield. It goes in behind the Toronto net for Slavkovsky. Back to the near side. Hard one-time shot by Dobson's off the mark. Now Suzuki has it broken up by Lorentz. Toronto to center. And Willie Nylander's going to tack on another empty net goal. Make it 5-2 Toronto.
That's a turnover on the half wall by Nick Suzuki, and this puck gets fed out. Hudson goes down and right out to Nylander, who walks this one in, slides it in on his backhand. So first of the year for Willie Nylander.
And as you said, JP, it doesn't matter if you lose the game 5-2 or 3-2. Loss is a loss, and the Montreal Canadiens will get a chance to atone for this tomorrow night against the Detroit Red Wings. Still 14 and a half seconds here to go in the third.
That's going to be a quick turnaround. Jump from the plane, get down to Detroit, and flight is not too far, as we know.
Leafs in their own zone, and they will run the clock out on this as Toronto make it 11 straight wins at home against the Montreal Canadiens going back to February of 2021 as they take this season opening matchup by a 5-2 final. So Morgan Riley with the game winner tonight. Matthews and Nylander tack on the empty netters as it's time for the play of the game, brought to you by Tim Hortons, official partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Broken stick by Matheson.
Now back out to center. Here goes Nyes. Back the other way on a breakaway. Nyes can't beat Sam Montembeault. As back in front, Riley scores. Morgan Riley cashes in front of the Montreal net. Lane Hudson had no stick for Montreal and couldn't do anything to stop him as the Leafs retake the lead 3-2. That's your game winner tonight from Morgan Riley of the Toronto Maple Leafs. As time now for the Molson 3 stars of the game. Third star tonight for the Montreal Canadiens with a goal in his Montreal Canadiens debut is Zach Bolduc. Second star of the night for Toronto with a goal and 2 assists is William Nylander. And first star tonight with the game winner and an assist on top of it, defenseman Morgan Riley. So the Leafs take this one tonight. 5-2 final over Montreal. The Canadiens, as we mentioned, will be right back at it tomorrow night in Detroit as the Red Wings welcome the Canadiens for their home opener. And then, of course, we'll be back at it too on Saturday night as the Canadiens start this season with a quick 3-game road trip. We'll be back with you tomorrow night for the pregame show and puck drop from Detroit. But before we get there, we've got some business tonight with the Del Mar postgame show and your host, Mitch Gallo.
Thank you very much, Victor. Coming up on the Del Mar postgame show tonight, of course, as always, we want to hear from you at 514-790-1690. I would love to know your biggest takeaways from Game 1 of the season for the Montreal Canadiens tonight, a 5-2 loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Who are you most impressed by, and whose game concerned you? Give us a call at 514-790-1690. And, of course, you can always reach us via text message at 11690. Coming up on the Del Mar postgame show, Peter Vrionis joins me, and we'll chat with our play-by-play team of Victor Finley and JP O'Connor. Also, we'll get you the coach's comments with Martin St. Louis, player reaction, and more. The Del Mar postgame show is coming up next here on TSN 690. World.